But anyway, I don't really care if I can't bring it. I can't bring it. I just really like how it's painted. That's why.
Yeah,
it's kind of a cool little vehicle too. So
kind of the same reason why Jesse and I played that massive Tank Wars game, because we had all those tanks. It was like 3,000 points.
Yeah, it's fun. And the most important thing to do is have fun with the hobby, man.
Right.
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Play with your toys, for Christ's sake.
Unless you don't want to. If you want to leave them on a shelf, go ahead.
No.
Do what makes you happy.
That is not the American dream. It is to play bolt action and bolt action only.
Well, we're talking the Australian dream tonight. I don't know what that is, but man, I'm gassy tonight. Sorry, guys.
Jesus Christ, leave that in.
Why would we have to know that?
I don't know, because I just farted. I didn't know if you heard it or not.
Okay, so whoever edits this one,
we can't hear that.
I could hear it. We're opening with that.
Jeez.
Whoever edits, we're opening with that.
Oh my God, you guys!
And we're kind of floating the idea of people supporting us, and that's what we follow up with. Nice.
Yes.
Snafu. Situation normal. All fouled up. This is Snafu.
Welcome to another episode of Snafu. I'm your host, Rick. With me is Dale.
Yep.
Yes. Pat.
Present.
And Jeff.
Howdy.
Hi. So we are talking.
Oh, we should redo that. I can do an Australian accent.
God.
Not accident. Accent.
An Australian accent.
It would be an Australian accident, is what that would be. We're not going back, and we're talking about the armies of Australia. So,
By popular demand.
yeah, that's we actually kind of left it up to you guys this time, and it won out vote wise as far on Facebook as to what topic people wanted. I think we had 3 or 4 people that spoke up right away and said Aussies. It was pretty quick.
It was a landslide. 4 people wanted it.
It was like 4 people.
Out of like 7 that replied.
Within like 30 seconds, I felt like they had answered really quickly. Like everyone was just waiting for that question, apparently.
Yeah, let's do it.
So all 7 people that are very attentively listening to Facebook or watching
Listening
Facebook.
to Facebook, I like it.
Well, they could be blind.
Listening to
I don't know.
Facebook, watching our podcast. Good job, guys.
Yeah. However it works. If that makes you happy.
It's a Saturday night here in Minnesota. We got nothing else to do.
It's cold. It's not that cold, but it's cold.
The snow's
Just
still
finish
about
my
knee
drink.
deep.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Snow's still knee deep in my backyard.
Yeah.
There's caterpillars on top of the snow. How messed up is that?
Yeah, dude, I saw that picture. I didn't understand it. I'm like, how is it even possible?
I don't know. He's halfway across my backyard, though. He keeps moving.
Oh, he's not dead yet.
No, I don't
figured
know
he'd
how.
freeze.
But I thought
not quite
something
dead
had
yet.
eaten. Well, I thought a bird had swooped down and scooped him right up, but
Yeah.
apparently
must
they're
be.
just as confused as he is.
I had a
What
dead
is that stupid thing doing?
Who knows? I had a dead bird in my front yard, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go pick that up. And I went to go pick it up, and it was gone. I'm like, oh. Like some crow just got it. I hope it was a crow. But
No.
anyway, did Dale actually leave?
Yeah, he had to get a beer.
Oh, Dale's...
An adult beverage, probably.
I got
There
it.
it is.
There it is. All right.
What are we having tonight, Dale? Just for...
When I watch soccer or go to the soccer games, I drink Surly Furious. So I've moved from the first over to the Furious. So
very nice.
And just listen to that nice foamy pour.
little pour, yeah.
Lovely.
All right.
Heck, we could have that for 3 minutes of our break music. It's just that.
I was
song.
all out of
Sponsored.
bets.
Might need a Foster's to do it.
Oh yeah, Foster's. That's right, Foster's. Australian
Foster's.
beer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that...
Which actually, they don't drink it there.
I
They
was just
going to
say, I don't think they drink
I'm
that.
pretty sure they don't even export it anymore. I'm pretty sure they just brew it in the United States and ship it around and call it an export.
That's sort of like if we tried to push like PBR or hams off on another country as like an American. Well,
Right.
no one drinks American beer unless you have to.
Yeah. Some,
Big box beer.
Yeah, it's just the corn beer. You're right, but
Craft brew, whatever. We're trying to catch up to everybody.
some are doing all right. Yeah,
I'm waiting for this new Ice Forged I keep hearing about.
that shit ain't happening. As much as I want to do it, it just. I was talking about opening a brewery long ago. But regardless, let's talk hobby.
Let's do it.
All right. Hey, I did some hobby.
Oh,
Did
thank
everyone
God.
else do some hobby?
Is that a joke?
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Jeff's winning the hobby.
Jeff is
Yeah.
the hobby.
He is wrecking the hobby.
He is kind of making me not want to work on anything because I'm like,
I'll just
Hey.
watch Jeff finish stuff. That'll be great.
hey, I painted 2 models, and Jeff's like, hey, I painted an entire army. Like, thanks.
Sorry.
That's no, hey, free time is great. Anyway, so I got primer. Oh, watch out! I got primer on like 25 dudes. I don't know. A couple. I got 3 or 4 units primed.
Was it like just one color prime or?
It's so I'm in the middle of the Zenithal highlight. So I'm on the second. I just did the second layer.
Hey,
NFL
2 color
highlight.
minimum.
What?
You're there.
Zenithal.
Oh, I heard NFL highlight. I'm like, what? That's unique.
He dropped
Yes.
back through a Hail Mary. It was awesome.
I'm painting all my dudes to look like Brett Favre. Yes. No.
Brett Favre.
Yeah, in the Packer or the Viking uniform, though?
Yes. I
Yeah.
got more guys. I got more than one. I can put all.
What?
Every uniform he's ever worn.
Well, that'd be 2.
He was a Jet
3.
for a while too.
Oh, God, he was a Jet.
He was a Jet, and he was in. He played for Mississippi. I mean, you
Yes,
can
he
have some
did.
college, even high school teams. He was still good back then.
Sorry, I brought it up.
It's okay. That's-
Zenithal, you say?
yes. So the yes, you
And
have
for
the
those
3.
of us who aren't fancy, what the hell does that mean?
So it means you paint them black, and then you're blasting primer, or in my case, airbrush paint, from the top of the model down, and you're basically getting you're basically pre-shading your model. It's you can go look it up. It starts with an X. So I don't know how you spell it, but it starts with an X. I know that for sure.
I'm just getting
no,
xenophobe.
does it? No, it doesn't.
I've seen it with a Z.
It is with a Z. Yes, it's Zenithal with a Z, like Zenith, which means top down,
Very
believe.
good.
right?
Yeah.
I thought that was a TV brand.
Zenith, yes, that is also a TV brand. It's a shitty TV brand, but that's what I got done. So, Jeff, do we want to say? Well, I'll save Jeff for laugh because he's going to show us all out. Dale, do you want to talk about anything?
I've done hobby, but it's not bolt action related. But I am working.
So you're pleading the fifth, is what I'm getting.
It's not even bolt action
Yeah.
adjacent.
It's not even adjacent.
They
But
might have.
I am.
They
Yeah,
might
I
have
am,
bolt guns though.
I am painting and putting models together, and I'm enjoying it. But it's not bolt action, so it doesn't necessarily belong.
So what we're saying is that Dale's side chick is becoming needy and taking over and threatening to cut the wife out.
No.
Are you sure?
I'm not. Well, you might be saying that, but I'm not saying that.
Okay.
So.
Well, we'll have a conversation when we need to. What is
Intervention.
it called? Yeah, an intervention. That's the word I was looking for.
Be careful because you might get sucked in. So
It's
Probably not.
possible.
I've tried numerous times to get involved in that particular, and no.
Nope.
I,
All right, so-
end up selling my crap off.
I've done it
So-
twice. Yeah.
Pat, where are you at?
I am actually starting to mock up a display board for Bug Eater.
Nice. When's Bug Eater?
Oh yeah. that's
June.
right.
June.
And of
first
the
weekend
four
in
of
June.
us, Jeff and Pat and Rick, was this a definite no from you, or are you still trying to work it?
I'm trying to work the angle, but I'm thinking
Good.
it's still a pretty good no. It's a pretty solid no still, but we'll see if that changes.
I had originally signed up, but it turns out that my youngest daughter is graduating that weekend, so it turns out I can't go to Bug Eater. So,
Is that thing recorded?
No.
No.
So my actual wife, there's no way I could get past that. There's a lot she'd put up with, but not that. So, is
You're going to
it
miss what to play a game where? I don't think so.
your display board? Is this for a new army, or are you just trying to update your display board, or what's
It's not a new army. I'm still playing British, but I'm doing Market Garden, and I'm doing the garden element of Market, which should be the 30 core, and I'm going to be kind of mocking up the Hell's Highway as a display board.
Oh, cool.
That'll look awesome.
That'll be
Are you
fun.
gonna have any destroyed tanks that they're trying to get around, or
I just started mocking it up. I haven't really put that much thought into it yet. So
Okay.
that's a good idea, though. Does anyone have any destroyed tanks they might know about?
I do. But they're German and Russian.
Yeah, I don't think that helps. That would be really... Some Rivet counter would freak out
Probably.
and smash your display board.
I would.
Bulk smash.
I would hope not.
You never know. No, don't do it. All right. I saw some pictures. Or did you? Was that at the beginning of your display board?
The beginning of my display board is in my head and on a sketch pad. So if you've seen that, I'm quite impressed.
No, I just remember you sending us a picture with some stuff on it.
Yes.
I didn't know what that was.
I just kind of mocked up about the size I was going to need with some models that were fairly representative of what I was trying to put on there.
Got it. Yeah.
So
That was a size mock-up.
Okay. That's what I saw. So
Okay. Yes.
All right. Anything else, Pat?
That's good. That's good for a month.
Good. That's a good one today. All right.
Yeah.
So Jeff. Jeff.
You finished your third army this week?
Fourth.
Jeff, what did you do just this week?
Just this week, I finished all the Winter Germans. So that's 4 10-man squads, Hetzer, half track, and 3 or 4 Mortar, Nebelwerfer, a couple small teams, whatever. Got all them done and painted and basted. I'm pretty happy with them. And then
you should be. They look great.
They do look great.
And they performed very well too in the game I played. So that made me
I
happy.
Noticed. Yeah,
That made me quite happy.
Flame vehicles, kind of. Turns out they're pretty good.
Well, they're not bad. He only
Bad.
did one half the board in.
Yeah, it's too bad they're not allowed at the Bug Eater.
Yeah, where did you see that, by the way? Because I was looking that up and it's not there.
I saw that as well.
It was there.
Where is it at?
It's in the Bug Eater crap you should bring and crap you should leave home stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, it's.
I looked today and did not see it. So
if you go there and you look at the bolt action section, there's a bit there that talks about. It tells you how many points it is and kind of the army composition, and it mentions there's no flame vehicles. So
well, let's find out.
or vehicle flamethrowers. So
Yeah. I
no
like-
Fire Nation.
That's well, whatever, because the rest of today and yesterday and today is I finished up 2 more half tracks, an armored car and a Tiger, so tank. So
Just today.
that was today. Yeah, that was just today's work. It's really, I'm telling you, man, when you get a system, it's really easy. And the system for the camouflage patterns I was using is something you suggested. I just got some silly putty. And you break it up and you use that to block on the tank. Spray a color around it, peel it off, reblock, spray.
I didn't think anybody ever paid attention to what I said.
Oh my God, it makes that so much easier. Now, of course, the problem is when you're doing 4 vehicles at a time,
That's an ample supply of silly putty.
Right, I tend to get a little impatient, so I blocked the most noticeable colors and then freehanded a couple colors, and it turned out okay.
Sure. I got 7 eggs of silly putty if you need any.
Good Lord.
Do you,
I had to hunt for one.
Was it
I-
Easter?
it took me a
No.
few times. Comes in eggs.
Buy them in bulk. Yeah, buy them in bulk off Amazon. So.
Yeah, it was actually pretty tricky to. Do you? So the question I have for you, Dale, because I have some, but I don't use it very often. Is do you reuse it, or once you've used it, you throw it away?
No, I reuse it.
Okay, so it has some longevity too.
Yeah,
Okay.
mine's like 18 months old, and I can still use it.
Sure.
Does it get different colors on it?
Well, yeah, but you're not painting the putty. The putty is being used to. I use it as a
block it
mask
out,
too.
yeah.
Actually, you can just mask parts of your miniatures,
Well,
which is really handy with the airbrush.
Right, and I'm going to jump in here and tell you that I did not try to avoid painting over the silly putty. I just sprayed from a distance, and it's got at least 10 different coats of paint on it, and it's still working just fine.
Yeah, it's such a crazy material.
It's silly.
It really is.
Silly putty,
It
shocking.
really is. So yeah, that was today's project. And then last week, in the meantime, I also painted up 3 Shermans, finished out Oddball's platoon, and added a 88, and finished both ducks and decaled them. And yep.
Okay.
So anyway,
Says that.
I'm done painting armies now. Literally, I've got 3 French armies, a German army, and an American army. So I'm pretty well set on armies. So I ordered about $100 worth of train. So that'll be the next project whenever it gets here.
Cool.
So
Okay.
I'm hauling through. It's fun.
Yeah, whatever makes you happy, and
I'm just
obviously
telling you, man,
painting models make you happy.
When this is a story I tried to explain to people, because back when I was in school and super stressed and busy, I played a lot of video games, and people were like, how can you possibly do that? I was like, this is how I unwind. And now painting is how I unwind. So if it's stressful, I paint.
Yeah, and I'm with you 100%. That's why I'm so stressed out, is because I'm not painting models.
Yeah, right? It's
But-
the best stress relief.
Yeah, it really is. Just being able to sit and quietly do your own thing. It's like meditation for me.
Yes, it's exactly right.
Yep. Better meditation.
As long as what you're painting is going the way that you hope. I was cleaning my airbrush and wasn't paying attention. I had a couple of miniatures too close that were fully painted, and I ended up splattering them, and I was like, oh my god.
That would have drawn a string of profanities out of me.
Yeah, so don't be a moron, and painting is amazing.
Keep your paint area clean, boys and girls. That's the moral of that story.
Or always point your gun in the right direction before you discharge.
That's what she said.
Jesus.
Not even drinking tonight. Anyway, okay. I think that covers hobby. We did a lot. That's actually fairly commendable. There's a fair amount of hobby being done.
We're all actually hobbying.
Did you mention your tiger?
Well, me?
Yeah.
Just that I
Okay.
briefly,
You-
yeah. No, I think
okay.
it's the only one that doesn't have decals on it, because I have so many decal sheets I had to dig to find it. So that's probably
Okay.
when we're done recording, I'll probably go stick the decals on.
And yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for the record, I'm looking at this bolt action thing for Bug Eater, and I don't see the no flame vehicles.
Yeah, I didn't see it either, but Pat sent something in our tool
Just saying.
that says it. And I don't know where he found that.
Yep, no vehicle flamethrowers are allowed.
Where is this? I'm literally looking at the GT Bug Eaters game page, 2018 bolt action. What to bring? Good attitude, rule book, 7 copies of your list, measuring tools, dice in your own order, dice in your army.
Where does
Yeah.
it tell about the points restriction?
It doesn't.
Then you're on the wrong page.
Well, where the hell is the page? That's what I'm asking. This is literally the bolt action drop down.
So which army are you taking to Bug Eater then?
Well, I'll still bring the Germans. I mean, let's be honest.
So you're changing sides.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I said that at the New Year's resolutions. I'm bringing the Germans this year.
That's right.
And if I can't bring the Hetzer, fine. I'll swap in the frickin' Panzer IV with Tiger Fear, because that's such a,
That's such a
powerful
crutch.
rule.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, think about the boards. I think the Tiger Fear should be mostly, because there was a reasonable amount of terrain on most of those boards. So
Some of them.
yeah.
Some are more open than others.
So yeah, on top of Facebook, we're also. I mean, this is probably we'll talk about them. I'm sure. Again, I was going to say we'll never talk about it again, but I'm sure we will. We opened up our Patreon. Like literally, I just clicked the button a minute ago. So
Woohoo!
yeah, I mean, it's not like a big deal. Let's not make it a big deal. If you want to help us pay for our stuff, pay for our monthly maintenance costs and stuff, or help us get better microphones, whatever, maybe even get us some cooler equipment someday, maybe. We'd appreciate it. We love it. It makes it easier to justify with our spouses doing this continually. But if you don't and nobody wants to do it, that's fine too. We're going to continue doing it either way. So for some reason, Dale felt the need to Patreon our own Patreon. So
I had to test to make sure that everything worked.
Yeah.
it's
seed
working.
money.
It's a little seed money.
Kind of like those street performers. They throw their first couple of bucks and change in there.
And it helps load balance the cost. So
Sure, it might be a little bit much. But anyway, if you go and look at it, there's some cool stuff. It's the only way we currently have that's outsiders can get the super awesome hot snafu dice.
Yep.
And
I do love the dice.
I know.
Actually, I know I've Patreoned it. I'm going to want the dice.
Of course you are. Of course you are. That would make sense. So ultimately, we appreciate whatever you can do. If you don't, no big deal.
We do. It's awesome. So, actually, whenever everybody contacts us and they send us email or they post on the Facebook page or tweet at us, it's a cool thing, and it's always
It's
fun.
appreciated.
Yes.
Yep.
So there we have it. We'll
Hopefully
probably talk
respond
about it.
well enough.
Yeah. And if you don't, whatever.
Yeah.
We're not going to
We'll
make a
be
big deal out
super
of it.
obnoxious about it, and every 5 minutes we'll ask you to do
Right.
it, so.
In the middle of this episode, we're just every time we talk about something, he's going to be like, go to Patreon.
Could
No.
make it a drinking game.
Oh God.
Um,
Every time they say
spent-
Patreon, take a drink.
Oh, man, I already drank all this. I got to stop. Holy cow.
Oh, Dale. You know,
Oh, no, I didn't pour it all out. I thought I went through that really fast.
Okay. Well, so anyway, thank you. Well, thank you again whenever anything ever happens with it. We'll not talk about it too much. So let's go through Rules Corner. I think we had some rules come up. I'm not sure exactly where these rules came from, but we can talk about them because I think they're important. I like them.
I think they're important rules.
Yeah, and
They are.
There's always things you forget, too.
There's
You're
things
not
that are
playing every week.
easily forgotten about,
Yeah.
and I see them misplayed, and I misplay them myself. So I thought, let's bring it up, right?
Sure.
And if Pat's misplaying them, he's like our rules guy for the most part.
Shit.
So.
If he's doing it wrong, then why are we playing this game?
Then you're doing it wrong.
I guarantee I'm doing it wrong, but
Well, the one thing I've always said is, when I remember when we were doing Operation Snafu and I was walking around, it was like I could just exactly visualize the rule where it was and just answer it. But then when I'm in my own games, I kind of want them to be a little slighted in my favor, so I might misremember a little bit.
oh yeah, dude,
So-
so bias. Yeah,
Yeah, you might have some judgmental bias in your own games.
My guys can fly.
Yes. Those would be the models Dale's
remember it.
painting.
Frenzy is applied before the extra attack.
Right. Yes.
No,
yes,
after.
After,
I can't
yeah.
remember. After. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There was some rule about that. Yeah, double
You get your extra attacks and then you frenzy because frenzy doubled them.
That's right. That's what it was. I remember that now.
That's a Warhammer Fantasy reference for those.
If
of
you can
that
remember,
haven't
yeah.
played that.
Dual hand weapons. That's what it was, right?
Yeah.
Additional
Yep.
hand weapon. Yep. Okay. Anyway, we're not talking the rules of that game. We're talking artillery rules on page 93 of the main rule book. So you can all open your hymnals to page 93.
Check.
And okay. And then I'm not sure what people are playing wrong. I don't play artillery all that often, so I guess I'm not all that familiar with how I would play them wrong.
So
Pat,
the first
teach
thing
us.
that I've heard that is misrepresentative is everyone thinks that there's that unit cohesion of 1 inch. Well, the artillery rule specifically states that each of the crew members have to be within 2 inches of the center of the gun,
Oh,
not
interesting.
within an inch of each other.
Correct. And I use that. I'm going to jump in here. I use that to my advantage with my Nebelwerfer in my game Thursday night by having each guy in an X pattern 2 inches away from the center of the gun, so that when Jason rolled the 6 and dropped a medium mortar round on my Nebelwerfer on the first turn, it could only hit 2 guys.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that actually makes a big difference because they're not going to all be tight in the back
Yep.
there.
Huge difference.
And even if they're not behind a gun shield, they still get the benefit of the gun shield
From the front.
From the front.
Yeah.
Because they're effectively just wounds.
They're just wound markers, yeah. They're just-
Artillery,
but you're just
yeah.
keeping them away from each other so that you can't place a template on top of their heads. Makes sense. Okay.
So it's 2 inches from the center of
The gun.
The
the
gun.
gun and not within 1 inch of the gun.
They
That's
don't-
what I thought.
Yeah,
it
they
was.
don't care
Yes.
about each other either, so they don't have to be within
Right.
1 inch
There's
of
not,
each
there's
other.
not a unit cohesion.
Right. Well, there is. It's just within 2 inches of the gun
Right.
instead of 1 inch of each other.
Right.
Okay.
Which could
Makes
be
sense.
hilarious if you've got that like 7 crew 88 that's a huge piece as it is.
The Japanese can do that too. So
Yeah. It's basically have like a giant circle of dudes doing a ritual around your 88.
Yeah, my medium howitzer has 5 bros on it, and I'm always trying to figure out how they sit behind the gun. Because one guy pulls the trigger, one guy's got the stick to load it, one guy has binoculars, and so
Yeah.
they're all doing their thing. And so,
So
now
you're
I can
going for the
just-
full scene of them working the gun, rather than
Well, you
playing
do
the
that
rules.
naturally, don't you? I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
we all just kind of, that's what we do.
But I think we're failing to realize that these would be nowhere.
But I'm not a gamey git,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to go exactly 2 inches away. You can only mortar 2 of my bros off at a time.
Well, you
It's
should.
You
I will
should.
do that.
Well,
Play
Yeah, you
within
should.
the rules of the game.
yeah. And to be fair, the context of the artillery pieces, it should be nowhere near the combat. Those dudes aren't going to be like,
Oh,
I'm going to get
come
my ass
on.
shot. They should be. No, I mean honestly, like there's dudes in front loading the gun. It's not like they would be hiding behind the gun shield the whole time.
So realistically, because the artillery would be 5 miles from the front line,
Put 'em
the
wherever you
ship
want.
would never land there. No, it shouldn't.
No, but it just means your dudes shouldn't be carrying or worrying about being
I
in front
could
of
see
everything.
I could see a light howitzer ending up close-ish, but those mediums
Yeah.
and those heavies, hell no.
I'm making a generalization. An 88 is like way the hell away. It's nowhere near
Miles.
the
Yeah, it
actual
is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is a fair point.
yeah.
It is.
Like, I mean, there's no gun shield on an 80. On some 88s, I guess there's a gun shield, but on,
Depends
like,
if they bother to model it or not.
right. But I mean, in context of an actual war, that thing was not near combat usually, unless shit was going bad.
Unless it was being overrun.
Right,
Or
which
it
is
was-
possible.
or the paratroopers dropped in.
Right,
Or it was being used as a direct fire anti-tank gun.
which is a possibility too. Yeah.
Ouch.
Anyway, so speaking of which, the next thing
That's
on
a
your
good.
agenda
That's a good one to bring up.
over open sights is the next.
Yep. So the over open sights, I'm sure everyone gets this. This is where you're looking down the gun barrel and you're measuring from the breech or the muzzle, and that's no intervening obstacles.
Right.
And the reason why I state that is because the slight difference for the indirect fire is that line of sight can be measured from any crew model that is within 2 inches of the center
Indirect
of the gun.
can,
Yes,
but not open sights. That's from the barrel of the gun.
correct.
Got
Yep.
it.
And that's the big
that
difference
is a
between
little
those two.
different.
Clarification.
Yeah.
That's a good clarification.
That can make a huge difference if you've placed it in cover.
Yeah.
someplace.
Don't place your gun in a shitty spot. Is what you're saying.
Yep.
Got it. Check.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
and you make sure you're measuring your indirect lines from any crew.
If you so choose. Do what you got to do.
Yep.
All right, I got a question for you.
Uh-oh.
This is not
Uh-oh.
necessarily. So my gun has a spotter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Can I?
Thanks for actually adding spotters, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I can be taught. So the so if I fire over open sights, even if I have a spotter, I have to still fire over the barrel.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And all your normal cover and range modifiers apply.
And not shooting over friendlies.
Right.
'Cause, yes, that would be indirect.
Correct. You can't
Yep.
direct fire over friendlies.
Yep. And indirect has to be taken from any of the crew models.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which includes the spotter.
Yes. Spotter just gives you an additional line of fire.
Yep.
And from the spotter is always indirect.
Right. No matter what you want to do with it, it's going to be indirect.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything from the spotter would be indirect then. Okay.
So and the other thing I see is that when all the crew is destroyed, people take the damn gun off the table. No. Leave it there.
The dice is
Leave the gun.
removed. Dice is
Yes.
removed.
Leave the gun. It becomes either part of terrain or it can be recrewed by other artillery crew.
That's right. Leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Take the cannoli. Yes.
No
I was-
Godfather jokes out there? Come on, man.
What?
You ever see The Godfather? That's like the best line right after the shoot
Oh,
the dude.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
leave the
yeah.
gun, take the cannoli.
Yeah. All right. I got it now. Thank you.
Ah.
It's been
That's
a really
going
long
deep
time.
and- yeah, it's been a long time for me too.
Can't watch those movies
That's-
very often.
That's too far out there. I think.
Okay,
I
fine.
was going to say every time
Medium 5. Medium 5.
All right.
every time I try and watch Godfather, I just fall asleep. So
Oh, Lord. Now we're going to get
some
angry
music.
letters from film critics.
That wouldn't be the first time. Would
No,
it?
it wouldn't.
wouldn't probably not.
Hey, Pat, can I throw an extra rules corner in here because it's again something I played wrong?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I played Dave a couple weeks ago, and turns out the fact says the crew of like a fixed team, so like a machine gun or a mortar can charge out away from their weapon for hand-to-hand combat.
Yep.
An artillery crew cannot.
No. That's
And
correct.
I charged out with an artillery crew, so sorry, Dave.
Oh, cheater.
Only the team weapons can.
Only the team weapons can. The artillery
Now, by
crew
team
cannot.
weapons, you mean small team weapons like machine guns.
Machine
and
gun teams, mortar teams,
Flamethrower
Sniper.
I think that's
teams,
it.
flamethrower teams,
Well, I
boys
mean-
anti-tank
Well,
rifle
there's-
teams,
Anti-tank rifle.
sniper if you're really in a
Anti-tank rifle
pinch.
teams.
Yep. But not artillery piece crews.
So anything that's essentially
Wait.
still considered an infantry unit, but that artillery is not considered an infantry unit.
Correct.
It's a different
They-
selector.
If they charge, they just bring the machine gun with them, don't they?
Nope.
Technically, they leave it behind, though
Yep.
you probably don't have it modeled that way.
Yeah.
So if the sniper team changes, do they leave the sniper rifle behind?
No.
Yep.
Do they?
Team weapons, they abandon their weapons and charge out.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay, so small teams then. I didn't. Okay, there you
I'm
go.
really
wep-
confused by how
team
that would
weapons.
actually work.
Team weapons, not necessarily small teams, but team weapons.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's,
if you look
okay,
at that
is different.
selector within your special army, all those are medium machine guns, flamethrower teams, Piat teams, for the love of God. All those team weapons are the ones that can charge out for close combat.
Okay.
And then you can have them go back and reman their positions and continue using their weapon.
Yep.
Cool. Okay.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I know more about artillery than I did before.
So just remember that there's a limit to recrewing, how far they can go. It has to be 12 inches. So if you got multiple artillery pieces, to have them within 12 inches of each other.
Yeah.
So the only opportunity to recrew is if it starts within 12 inches of the gun that's moving
Well,
to.
if it's abandoned within 12 inches of the...
So wait, if they wanted to man your medium howitzer wants to man your 88, they'd have to like scoot the model over until it was within 12, and then they could run over to the other one.
Yep,
Okay.
with the run order.
Essentially, that's what it means. Is like you can't leave a gun until you're within 12 inches of another gun.
Well, you just send two guys. That way you got two guys in each one. You're not suffering any penalties.
Oh.
Wait, how does that?
Can you do that?
I don't think
you
split
can
a
do
crew?
that.
I don't think you can split the team, though.
Any
now
number
s-
of crew models can be moved from one gun to another within 12 inches to either reinforce an existing crew or to man an abandoned gun.
Well, be damned. He's right. First, that's the
So,
first
do you get
paragraph.
an extra dice then?
Yeah, how does that work then? Do you get an extra dice?
Do you put a dice back in the bag, rather?
I would say yes.
Ooh,
Wow. Okay.
just fucking
There's some
gremlin. You're
kill point
gremlining,
shenanigans there.
right? Like just
Yep.
let your artillery die, and then you start splitting up and getting more dice. Like, wow.
Well, the
Interesting.
piece had to be on the board at the beginning of the game anyway.
True. So there's not. Well, it's not going to make that much of a difference because you don't have that many artillery or
So if I kill the same artillery piece twice,
You'd only get
Does
you'd only
that
get
count?
points for it the final time.
you still only get the points once.
Yep. The requisition
okay.
points.
All right. Interesting. I could see putting your
try.
artillery near each other for something.
You know, if you got a French army that gets an extra artillery piece and can still have two in a single platoon.
Right?
Yeah.
That's pretty unique.
A lot of other people only get one
Historically,
artillery piece.
they would be in general proximity too, so they could offer support to each other.
Well, and then you put your first Louis between them to snap them both to action.
So you can shoot them all. You can blow your load all in one
Fire
shot.
in the hole.
Yeah.
If you're doing indirect from the last turn and you're on those 5s instead of 6s, I say hell yeah.
Close. Yeah, do it. Yeah, you might as well. All right.
It's a pretty good feeling. Those snafu dice come up, you're like, snafu! And then you just nuke, and, everybody I play feels that, so.
Yes. There's a little observational bias in there, I'm sure. Especially when they see the giant red star.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, come on, jerk. Except for when Dave rolls dice, because holy cow. That guy. That guy rolling like 10 sixes in a row.
That was
And
madness.
switch dice.
And he
halfway
switched
through.
dice in the middle
That
of
was
it. yeah.
disgusting. That is still the most disgusting dice rolling I've ever seen.
No, it was great. It was the best. We should have been like, stop the tournament. We're going to the casino right now.
Right?
Don't roll another dice, Dave. Anyway, all right. So then we got another one. Looks like scenarios. Like I get confused by scenarios all the time. I see some of these that I totally. I'm with you. I get all confused by these anyway. So, scenario special rules hidden.
And that's if a scenario allows hidden, which the scenarios will specifically state if they do or don't.
Yep.
So if it allows hidden, and to be honest, I'm still in the mode of at work where I sit with people in operations and they're trying to give business requirements, and so I ask these kinds of questions. So not from a practical standpoint of within the game rules, but within the historical context, what would the hidden setup be exactly?
You mean like guys that have like pulled tree branches down in front of them and you're in a really concealed position?
Right,
Yeah.
so within the scenario, someone setting up as hidden, the idea is that they're just like concealed at the beginning of the battle.
Yeah.
Essentially,
A
they're
lot
like
of time
in
they're
ambush.
attacker defender scenarios.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So-
the defenders would typically like ambush hidden. It's not ambush because that's something different. They're
Yeah.
just hidden.
Yeah, so like here's another way to think about it. So like say you're an anti-tank gun crew, right? If you get seen, but basically as soon as you're spotted, you're in a lot of trouble. So you want to be hidden completely, tree branches up, whatever, so that the tank drives right the hell in front of you and shows you its side before you pull the trigger, right? So
Okay.
that's the concept behind starting hidden, is that
Cool.
you are camouflaging yourself, waiting for the optimal time to strike.
Can tank hunters, i.e., those vehicles that don't have great armor but have big guns, can they be set up and hidden?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, it's not specified to the unit. It's specified whether the scenario allows whatever's on the board to start. And it has to start on the board. It can't be first wave or anything like that. It has to start on the board and then
Okay.
put a marker next to them to indicate they're hidden. And hidden basically just doubles their cover modifier.
Right. So if they're in hard cover, it's a
Do they count as being down?
No.
Okay.
But they could
So
go
can
down.
you be down
Sorry,
and
this,
hidden?
it's not to say double. So in soft cover, it's a -4. In hard cover, it's a -5.
Sure.
So it bumps it up quite dramatically.
Okay. Can you remain hidden and go down?
Yes, you're hidden until you're given a fire, advance, or run order.
Yep.
Okay.
They cannot be targeted by airstrikes or artillery barrages.
And everything has to be within 6 inches of it to shoot at it? Is that right? 6 or
12.
12? 12.
Anything within 12 can reveal hidden.
Unless you have some shenanigans, but there's not much that can reveal hidden.
German Shepherds are like 24 inches. And a
Right.
couple of other
Yeah, the
things.
Marines have a couple things, but
Enemy vehicles are within 6 inches.
that's right.
Recce
there's
vehicles, 12
yeah.
inches. Yeah.
Recce's are 12, yep.
Yep.
So certain things can reveal hidden, but otherwise, yeah, you can't shoot at them until they fire, essentially.
And there's a reason why I bring this one up.
Ooh, okay. What's the next part?
Well, we'll cover that after the break.
Oh, got it. Okay.
But,
Oh, fair enough. All right, so
You have another rule to cover here still, though.
Yes, we do.
You should have put them in the other order. Come on, man.
you can go into ambush and keep your hidden token.
correct.
Yes, but as soon as you fire, the hidden token comes
Right.
off.
But
Which
You can also rally, surprisingly enough.
you can
Have a very
scream,
quiet party.
Yeah. Oh, crap.
I got this shit. I got this shit.
Hyping himself up and then,
Yeah.
and then shooting
He's
his
getting his
hands.
mojo back.
Right.
And then trying to blow up the tank? Yeah. Okay. All right. So then there's one more in here, and that was the observer, sniper, spotters, first wave versus reserve, which I already know where this one's going because I've seen it played wrong a million times.
Yeah. So, if you're playing a scenario where you're not deploying anything on the board, and you're doing first wave, and you have a artillery piece with a spotter or a sniper or air artillery observers in that first wave, before the first turn of the game, they get their normal advanced deployment.
So anything with advanced deployment.
As long as it's in your first
So
wave.
like my tank, my suicide tank guys get special deployment.
Yes.
They're not an observer or a sniper or a spotter, but they have that.
But they have that rule.
Special advanced deployment rule.
Yep.
They benefit from this.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Again, they have to be in the first wave.
right. So riddle me this. So, okay, so in Dale's scenario here, he's got 3 anti-tank guys.
Just two.
Two,
Because
okay,
I'm
two.
not a cheesy bastard.
Whatever. Yes. Okay, so he's got 2. Do you place them
I'm a
when you?
regular bastard.
Yeah, he's just a regular bastard. Do you place them when you draw the dice, or do they just automatically happen before first wave? Actually,
If they're in the first wave before you start the game, you put them
sure.
out.
So then
They get their normal deployment.
Yes, they get the normal deployment.
without having to be drawn from the bag like a for normal first wave would have to.
Correct. So when their
Okay.
dice is drawn from the bag, they can act normally from that position.
Right. That's what I was just getting at. Is like so you actually get to do something with them, whereas most first wave stuff is just basically running on the board.
It's just setting up.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That is the first wave, is they're coming from off the board
Right.
onto the battlefield.
Except for your special advanced deployments, basically are already
Who have
set
gotten there
somehow.
ahead of time and are in position.
They're
Right.
doing
and
their
that's
job.
commonly observers, snipers.
They're
and
doing a
spotters.
good job. Yeah.
They're winning.
They're your scouts.
Or they're your
out
scouts if you have scouts. Yep. Okay. So that makes what the hell is that army? The Chinese army pretty good still.
there. Yeah, and this actually I played wrong quite a bit too, because when you guys were like, you have to take spotters, and I was like, yeah, you're right. You know, first wave, well, I roll my stuff on and the spotter comes on as well. Well, no, the spotter should have actually set up
Yep.
regularly during deployment. So
Yeah. Which actually is kind of a disadvantage if you're the only one that has spotters or snipers or all that stuff, but because now your opponent will get to counter it as best they can. given that they
Spotters
haven't
are
put
really
anything on
tough
the
to
table
kill.
yet. Spotters
You
are
gotta
it's
possible,
also-
but-
You have to assault them is really the only way to get them off the table.
Yes, I've noticed they are pretty hard to get off. Snipers aren't that much
Small
easier.
man
so-
team and down, like seriously?
and they're usually in cover.
They're usually in some kind of cover.
Yeah, you're almost always sitting in a -4, -5 without even batting an eye. So snipers are about the same. So
Yeah, just also recall that you have to be 12 inches away from any enemy unit.
oh right, when you're doing hidden, you can't
When-
start within 12
No,
inches.
well, that
Or-
too.
That too, yeah. Yeah,
Kind of ruin the hidden.
it ruins hidden too, yeah. But it also advanced deployment can't be within 12 inches. Correct.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Well, that's some cool rules. We like doing this. If we can talk about them more, we will. If you guys have questions about rules, you can definitely send them to us. Send them to Pat because I won't be able to answer them correctly, but I will still read them and learn from them. So
Yeah, I do keep a PDF of the Bolt Action Rulebook at my work desk, so I'd be more than happy to jump on in the middle of the day.
kind of breaks up the day a little bit when you're like, "What the hell is this person talking about?" No, that is not how it works. Crazy
Nope.
person. Anyway, all right. So we're gonna take a short break and come back. I don't know that anyone is going to find Australian World War II music. I don't know that this exists. I don't.
We can find some stereotypical stuff, though. I'm
It's
sure.
like, yeah, I'm sure we can. I don't know, but anyway,
Hopefully we won't. Hopefully we'll be classy and respectful.
we've been as classy and
For once.
respectable for once. We try and be classy and respectable with the music, at least.
That's true. We do.
Try and be respectful of the idea that it's World War II and that there are, this isn't just a game. Well, it is just a game, but it's not based on fiction, right? Shit happened.
all really happened.
All this shit
Yeah.
really happened. So try and be respectful of that a little bit. And it's kind of cool to hear old music. So if we can find Australian music, we will give it a shot. So
Hey, if you guys have any recommendations, let us know too.
this episode will be out before they even hear that. So they're not going to be able to
Well,
recommend
for
it.
future,
Fair.
for
All right,
future
fair.
episodes.
Yeah, you apparently committed to us doing one a month, so
We've been doing one a month.
I'm just saying. Now
I
it's a
didn't say-
commitment. Now I'm scared. Now I'm
so-
dumping all
Okay,
you
I'm
guys.
going back to Patreon. I don't know if I actually committed to saying one a month, but we will do everything in our effort to do one a month. Average one a month. How's
And
that
if we
sound?
miss it for some reason, Rick will profusely apologize.
I will feel bad. Yes, I will. Either
I
way.
won't.
Oh. Shit comes up, guys. We're all grown adults and we have lives, so we try to adhere to this best we can.
But we do have a great time doing this.
Right.
too,
No,
so
we do.
It
And-
makes it easier.
Pat's struggling through some kind of stomach bug, and I got a 2-month-old that I'll be up in an hour and a half for. So
Woohoo.
yeah, right.
And Jeff would rather be painting, apparently.
Or putting together that damn puzzle, so it's off your freaking date. Or off your.
It's not mine. It's my wife's.
Well, but it's on your gaming table, so I'd be
Well, it
helping.
is.
Like 3,000 pieces? Is that what I saw?
Yes,
It looks
Massive.
ridiculous. Yeah,
it's freaking huge. But she's cracking on it. It's just
it's
I'm gonna feel
3,000
bad.
pieces.
She's going to finish it. We're going to look at it and gawk at it, and then take it
Scrape
apart,
it?
and put it back in the box. I mean, like
She doesn't want to like frame it or something.
Yeah, people like frame that
dude,
stuff.
it's like 4x, or I guess it's 2x4 when it's finished. It's huge, man.
So
Well,
put it behind glass. You can look at it every day and be like, "Yeah, I did that thing," or she can. Anyway,
That'd be a cool gaming table.
it's
Like
a
a big puzzle.
puzzle under glass.
Maybe not for bolt action, but, for like a weird,
Just board gaming.
like a Malifaux or something like that, where it's just weird, chaosy kind of creepy stuff.
Anyway,
We're playing in Puzzle Land.
needs more skulls.
yeah, it'd have to be a skull puzzle. All right, we'll be back in 3 minutes.
Once the jolly swagman camped by a billabong under the shade of a coolabah tree. And he sang as he watched and waited till his billy was, "You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me." And he sang as he watched and waited till his billy was, "You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me." Down came a jumbuck to drink at the billabong grabbed him with glee. And he sang as he stole that jump back in his tucker bag. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang as he stole that jump back in his tucker bag. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Once the jolly swagman camped by a billabong under the shade of a coolabah tree. And he sang as he watched and waited till his billy boiled. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang as he watched and waited till his billy boiled. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Down came a jumbuck to drink at the billabong. Up jumped the swagman and grabbed him with glee. And he sang as he stole that jumbuck in his tucker bag. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang as he stole that jumbuck in his tucker bag. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me.
All right, welcome back. Pat's probably picked something really awesome. I don't know. Maybe he's already looked for it. So yeah, let's dive in. Let's go into the armies of Australia.
Rock and roll.
Mate,
Oh my god. Should we just say another shrimp on the Barbie and be done with it?
no, that's too far.
Aussie Man Reviews, Armies of Australia. I can't use that much foul language.
Right. I think we're going to keep it to minimal cursing. I'm sure we can.
Fostas.
We're not nearly as drunk this evening.
As
All
you
right.
think we are.
My only knowledge of Australia is just pop culture growing up in America, which is the
Crocodile
wrong
Dundee.
kind of. Yep.
Yeah. Crocodile
And
Dundee.
The
and
Dingo
all the
Ate My
animal-
Baby. And I had no idea what that was in reference to until I'm like, why do I always think about that when I hear about Australia? And I researched it, and it's a sad story. So
Yes,
It's
it
a
is.
very sad story,
It's sad.
actually.
And then that every animal on the freaking continent wants to kill you.
Yeah.
Like,
and
and they can in
they
most
can.
circumstances.
I'm going to just put out there, Rescuers Down Under. Come on, man, Disney.
Oh, yeah, right on.
That was pretty good. That was a great movie.
yeah,
Probably not accurate, but still great.
You're telling me mice can't talk?
Lies. They fly around in albatrosses. I've seen it.
Yes.
Yeah, in their claws. Not albatross. Maybe not.
All right. So,
Anyway.
so we want to cover the armies of Australia now that we're really.
I thought we just completely keep going. 'Cause,
Okay, sure. How far down the tangent can we go?
Right. No. Let's get on subject here.
All right.
So-
where do we always start?
National rules.
I'd say we leave the national rules for last. No, I'm just kidding. Let's start with them. Where do we go from here? National special rules.
actually, I think it'd be cool to spend a few minutes talking about where the rules for Australia came from.
Okay.
Because they've had a couple of incarnations, haven't they?
They were originally just covered by Great Britain, the armies of Great Britain. They were part of that empire.
Sure.
And so you could, and I think that's where the armies of Great Britain had their little 5-in-1 special rule that you could pick one of them as the characteristic of the natural rule you wanted to use to show that flavor between the different armies.
Oh, got it. Okay. So that makes
So
sense.
they were part of the empire, so they got in that first book,
Yep.
kind of as a flavor of Great Britain, or the armies of Great Britain.
Back
Sure.
in the early on, whenever that publication of that book was, it escapes me at this moment, but it was one of the first couple
Sure.
that was out there.
Okay. And then after that, they had a PDF too, didn't they?
I think they did.
Okay.
They did. Yep, they had a PDF that came out, I think, as part of the Bolt Action Alliance, wasn't it?
You're talking about the pamphlet sort of thing? It's
Yeah,
not
a
a
supplement
one-pager,
for
it's like a
Bolt Action.
14-pager or something.
Yeah, I think that they were kind of community produced. Brian Cook and Patch Adams were the ones that wrote it, and then Alessio shows here that he edited these rules.
Wow. So he blessed it essentially.
That's awesome.
On top of editing it. That's pretty cool.
Right, and so my feeling or my sense of this was that the community kind of produced these rules and presented them, and it's somewhere along the way they kind of got an unofficial backing
Right.
by the studio, and so then they were legal for tournament play and stuff like that. I'm assuming after a great deal of play testing and things like that. So,
Sure.
which I think is actually super cool as far as
Oh yeah, it's all the Bolt Action
So,
guys.
so what were those guys' names?
Brian Cook and Patch Adams.
And I'm guessing their playtesters were Seamus and Sam.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Those are names I recognize too from
So
one of their podcasts.
why I'm asking Brian and Patch, not Pat, Patch.
It's Pat with 2 extra letters.
Maybe you should work on Italians next. I'm just saying. All right. Anyway, moving on. No more.
All right, so that was the
Italians again.
second kind of incarnation of the Australians.
Yep.
And then, what do we get?
Then they did this campaign New Guinea thing this last fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, updating everything yet again, or officially releasing most
so
of it, right?
and here's what I'll say about the PDF that was put out there is you can actually find that on the Warlord website and do the put it in your cart thing and check out, and it's $0.
Right.
So it's a free download.
Yeah.
And if you want to quick go download your copy, push pause on this, and we'll go over the differences between the two so you can mark your copy up in case you're not interested in the rest of the good fluff that's in New Guinea. Because there's a lot of good stuff in there too. A lot of,
I would
just to
strongly
touch on that briefly.
Yeah, I would strongly encourage you to just go buy the book if you want to play Australians.
But hey, if you're on a budget, I know there are players that are.
Sure. You got to buy all those beautiful, beautiful Australian models that they've recently released too. All metal though.
I know that broke Dale's heart pretty bad.
It did.
I'm sorry. They're pretty. They still look good.
They look fantastic.
It's still.
Yeah, hey, and they got and in the PDF they also have a little color painting guide, which I always like.
Sure.
It's actually really well done.
The Vallejo, which is also the paint I like to use.
It's awesome.
So yeah, very cool. So when you guys got that PDF open there?
Oh,
I got it open.
Okay.
there we go. Perfect. Great. Oh, I do too, actually. Shockingly. I had opened it yesterday and I left it open, apparently.
You just haven't closed it yet?
No.
That's how those things inadvertently get read. You know, it's kind of the whole leave a book on the back of the toilet thing and you read it over the course of a month.
Yeah. All right, let's start with this. Let's break into it and before those dogs attack.
Sorry, someone came home.
So
your ploy did not work very well, Dale. No, that's exactly it. All right. So let's start it.
So the first thing they come out and say is that unless noted otherwise, Australians do not get British national rules nor choose a national characteristic from the armies of Great Britain.
Seemingly
But
makes sense.
instead get the following special rules plus a choice of what they're calling one of the campaign characteristics, which I believe that whole sentence is verbatim out of the PDF.
Yep. Exactly.
So, and here's what kind of gets me is, okay, so here you're introducing a new army, and we're telling you what it's not like. I guess they're really trying to pull it away from there.
Well, they're trying to pull it out of the British book, right? So the British book was first, so they're pulling this out.
So that's the first tug,
Yep.
and they'll tug again here. So they have
Don't
their
tug too many
first-
times.
just the twice. the limited artillery support rule, which Australian forces do not receive the free forward artillery observer from the normal British and Commonwealth special rules, nor do they receive any bonus to the preparatory bombardment. And remember what that rule is.
Yeah, you get to roll 2 dice and pick.
And pick which one you want when you get the bombardment. Yep.
So they don't get any of this cool British stuff. No free stuff. But I'm sure
no
we get
free
some other
order
cool
dice.
stuff. Bummer.
Yet.
Yeah, I was going to say none of the British rules that give you special order dice, I'm sure.
Yep.
Let's keep moving. What's the next one?
So they've told you what you don't get so far.
Oh, right. That's essentially all they've given you.
So that's a -1 special rule so far. Their first special rule, I'll say, is aggressive patrolling. So the Australian player automatically wins the roll off for placing first forward deploying, snipers, spotters, etc. In addition, no enemy forward deployer may be set up within 18 inches of the Australian unit already deployed.
What a cock block.
Also, Australian infantry spot hidden enemies at 18 inches instead of 12 inches.
Sweet.
Now, you remember why I brought up those special rules earlier?
Yep. Yeah, no, makes sense. That's pretty sweet, though. Like,
I like this.
That's huge, actually.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
This
All
will
right.
screw those Chinese communists.
It really will. Unless you... I mean, who cares? You just run them over anyway. It's just a sniper. Try to run
Well,
them
no,
over.
they're commando, they're Sparrow units, the Sparrow tactics. They get to go.
Yeah.
So you go first, and they can't deploy within 18 inches. So nice.
Right. And then they get to move 9 inches right off the bat.
I mean, if you're super concerned about how much the Chinese are overrunning the current meta, and they're not.
Right.
So
Just
it's
not exactly.
kind of a-
It's so much
Still-
so that there's hardly a line available to get models for.
To be fair, though, it does kind of screw up the Soviets too with their, or the Japanese,
Oh, their little
with their
tank-
anti-tank,
their tank teams
yeah,
and-
their
yeah.
scout teams and stuff. There's plenty of forward deploy stuff that you really don't want to have up in your face right away. So,
And those are kind of fun tricks, those
Yeah.
forward deployers. So this
Yep.
can kind of muck up their plans. I like it.
kind of cool.
I
All
like
right.
the 18 inches thing. That's different than that's. There's
Yeah,
been a
spotting
number
hidden.
of times that I'm trying to find being 12 inches away and what I want to be. Now add another 6 inches of that. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah. No,
So-
it's very. They got good
really
noses.
It's really good.
Yeah, for free.
Well,
Anyway.
it takes up one of their special rules.
Fair, I suppose.
So the next one that is, which is part of all Australian armies, is the Never Give Up. And this one is, when defending in an assault, mind you, the Australian infantry and artillery units count as having fanatic special rules.
Good lord.
Oosh. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. Charge me, bro. Come at me.
Exactly.
Come at me, bro.
I'll sit here and shoot at you all day.
To a friend.
Yeah. We're in it together, mate. That's awesome. That's a good rule.
That's a
That-
great rule. Good lord.
Yeah.
That's kind of where you try to position it to taunt them to charge you, don't you?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're going to sit there and take rifle shots at them until they decide they're going to try and charge you. Get behind some cover. Pop shots all day long.
Yeah. So is this sort of like the anti-Japanese army here? Am I looking at that right?
It's kind of feeling that way.
Yeah, especially when we get to one of the last ones of the next three. It kind of has that feel.
Well, I mean, you're
That's a
preventing-
to the death fight.
Yeah, but I
Oh,
mean, you're
yeah.
preventing the deployment of those anti-tank guys too,
Yeah.
right? With your
Yep.
aggressive patrolling rule.
Yep.
Well, I mean, Australians aren't necessarily known for their amazing tanks.
No, but
So
the
that
one they
is a
take,
little-
they want to
Yeah.
have survive.
Right. I mean,
Sure, fair enough.
we'll get to tanks soon enough, and it won't take very long. But you don't want it to die either way if you're going to take one.
Yeah, never give up. Great rule.
Yeah. All right.
Rule.
So now we get into the bullshit where you get
Infantry
to
and
pick out-
artillery units. So
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
very good.
Interesting.
The next one they have under the category of campaign characteristic special rules. So I don't know if that's supposed to say only if you're playing in the context of this New Guinea campaign or what it is, but I take it to mean, much like the armies of Great Britain had their 5 that you could pick one from, kind of like the national characteristic.
That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
That's what it
that's-
feels like.
Yep.
It's a little, the wording's kind of could lead
Well-
to misinterpretation, but
the sentence in the PDF says this will help you capture the feel for the specific campaign you're representing. So, like, to me, that represents the war campaign, not the
Time period.
book campaign. Yeah, time period, right? Or a certain area of the battle,
Yep.
not a book.
I'm
So-
okay with that. I was before too. It's just that
Yeah.
the wording can kind of lend to some confusion the first
Kind
time.
of a
So-
bugger when you use the keywords like that. That campaign can mean lots of different things. Unfortunately,
Yeah, as the TOs of one of the preeminent tournaments in Minnesota, bolt action.
in Plymouth, Minnesota. Come on.
We would rule
around
that
Thanksgiving.
these campaign characteristics, you would be able to select one for your Australian army.
If you want to play Aussies, you can bring one of these rules. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So without further ado, let's go over.
Yes, please.
How many rules are there that they get to
There
choose
are
from?
3 that you can choose from.
Mm.
All right, so the first 2 and then an additional of these next 3.
So we
Well, they got three special rules, right? One of them's bad for them, though. But whatever.
Well, it just means they don't get the free. I don't even think they need to include that rule. No one thinks that they get the British special rules as well.
Somebody
no, that's
would.
true. Somebody's going to be like,
would.
they were in this book. I mean,
Does it say I can't fly?
right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Okay.
instead, they just said, "Here, it's done."
All right, so you get 3 special rules, and now one of these next ones.
Okay. So we'll start with Australia is next. ... All Australian infantry units gain stubborn.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
Solid, but
If you're fanatic in defense, then I guess it's not as big of a deal. But
What? That's it.
well, they're different rules. I mean,
That's
I guess
a
they have
free
different
1-point upgrade.
Yeah, on all your infantry. Yep.
Yeah.
That throws a
How
wrench.
often does that come into play? Really?
It throws a wrench in my 4 Nebelwerfer list.
Yeah.
Gross.
Okay. All right.
Don't be-
Fair enough.
Something is begging to throw a wrench in your 4 Nebelwerfer list.
I'm going to throw a wrench at your 4 Nebelwerfer list.
Now just throw it at you.
Yeah, someone is going to have a wrench, and they're going to actually throw it.
Just chuck it at your models.
Just for the record, that Nebelwerfer fired 5 times last game and never hit a thing.
Well, it's because you got shit luck and you couldn't see it one turn or see anything with it one turn. So
Oh yeah, I could. Well, I had to run to the other corner.
yeah, you had to move it to shoot at it. Yeah,
But it was
it's
always
like
rolling
nothing
2 to
happened.
3 dice a turn. I never hit a thing. I need Dave rolling my dice.
Yes, you do.
Jeff is across from Pat, and Pat walks up, and Jeff's like, "What's that?" He goes, "This is my artillery marker, and it's a wrench." And he goes, "It's going to go wherever it lands." And he hoists it up and smashes the Royal Nebelwerfers. It's going right there.
If it's his artillery observer, it lands in his own shit, though.
Yeah.
You don't
Or
want it to do
doesn't
that.
come in at all. Which
Or
is,
scatters off the board, yeah.
That would be Pat's like he throws it and wipes out his own army. Oh, my Gurkhas!
hey, they snuck their way back on the painting table.
Oh, quiet. All right. Okay.
So I
what's the
got
next
you
one?
back on topic pretty quick.
I'm
Jesus.
like, yeah, I don't want to talk about Gurkhas.
Yeah.
All right, so their second choice is fighting withdrawal. And this is Australian AIF, which is Australian Infantry Force, I believe. And militia units may advance and then flip their dice down onto ambush. However, this advance has to be moving directly towards their own table edge.
So, running away?
Yeah.
Correct.
Interesting.
Strategically retreating.
Well, right. Yeah. Running away.
That rule could be really good in certain circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, I like it, but I don't like the whole that you have to move away. That kind of bungles it up a little bit.
It doesn't say how far you have to move away.
Yeah, it doesn't say you got to go the full 6 inches.
It doesn't. And somewhere else, I don't know which FAQ it was. They say you could move 0 inches.
Yeah, you can. You can advance 0.
Technically, you can
But then again, if you can
0.
advance 0, why not just go into ambush anyway?
Because you have a special rule. Because you got to use your special rule.
You have to use the special. Okay.
'Cause it's-
Because
you gotta-
sometimes falling back 6 inches away from the Japanese puts you outside 12 inches.
Fairly good assessments there.
Yeah.
But you could instead just advance back 6 and shoot. But I guess you might as well wait and see what happens. You can always shoot
ambush,
later.
you get to pick when you're firing, so you can wait for
True.
clear cover.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Fair enough. That is a good.
Also, if you move forward the first couple of turns, you can slowly retreat, give yourself some extra room to fire.
Right.
The old Texas two-step.
Yeah.
Yep. No, it's kind of an interesting kind of.
So again, it's just a few select units.
Yeah, it is only a few. So I see taking the first one first, just because it covers all your units. But
I
we'll get
like
there in a
having
minute.
all my units covered.
I keep my units covered every day. I don't know why I have 2 of them. Anyway. Jungle Warfare Masters. Let's go into the next rule. We're just going to scoot right past that one.
All right, very good.
Yes.
Infantry squads and officer teams do not suffer a -1 penalty to morale if they lose their NCO or officer. Also, all infantry units that are being moved as a result of advance or run may go down as a reaction to an ambush, even if they've already activated that turn. But to do so, the unit must successfully pass an order check. Does not lose pins for this, though.
But wait. So
that's
they could have run in advance. Yes, they could advance
or run
and have shot or run.
If
and
someone shoots at them, they do an order test and can go down.
But may go down as a reaction to an ambush, so it can only be against an ambush.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So you could say, I'm going to advance, and they're going to be like, I pop my ambush, and you can be like, I'm going to go down instead.
Yep, and then you'd have to pass an order test.
Right, so you'd have to take an extra order test, and it doesn't clear any pins. However, it could, you're kind of, it's very bait and switchy almost, right? You want to get that ambush to go away before moving maybe something else. This is a good way of doing it without killing all your dudes.
Yeah.
It's interesting. And then the no NCO problem is kind of nice too.
I bet being a German player, you probably enjoy the hell out of that.
I think that'd be really interesting because if you're playing on a jungle board that's heavy terrain, this would be a really good rule. Because you're trying to cross a clearing and the guy's like, I have all my units on ambush, and you're like, well, I'm just going to go down if you come out of ambush at me. So,
right, exactly. That's what I mean by is you're just going to try and eat up their ambush orders.
Yeah, I like it. It's good.
All right, guys, spot time. Pick one of those 3. Which one do you like the best?
First one.
Really?
I think it gives you the most benefit across the board. Maybe the last one. I don't like the second one as much. I think I'm going to have to make a decision after we see those 2 units because if I was going to play the Australian infantry force, then maybe the second one would be no. If those units are good, I would pick the second one because I think I like the advance and ambush together.
Can you go back and forth one more time for me?
I can be a politician and wishy-washy as much as I want to.
Very good.
There might be a bit about stubborn that I had forgotten because I play Japanese and they're always fanatic.
Yeah, they don't care. Yeah.
Right.
If I assault with a regular unit and I lose by 1, man, it's been a long time since I played.
You're killing me, Dale.
Yeah.
Do you automatically lose?
Yes.
Yeah, you're dead. Unless you're fanatic.
And that's right. So there's no morale check there, is there?
No, morale check is have casualties from an attack.
Yes.
Oh.
Shooting, not
shooting.
That's right. Combats are deadly.
Combat is bloody as hell.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, stubborn isn't that great.
Stubborn probably doesn't matter if you're fanatic. So, and it doesn't matter in close combat anyway. So.
-1 for not losing your NCO. That's pretty decent.
The problem is the other part with Jungle Warfare Masters is that it's situational at best and could be useful, but it's not always going to be useful. Again, the other one might be too if you're not taking all Australian infantry force, whatever the heck the AIF or militia units are. So maybe we should dive into those 2 units and see if they're worth it.
Australian Imperial Force. There you go.
Imperial Force. Now they sound totally rad, and I
now you want
to
take
withdrawal.
Them. Yep. Okay, that's got to be it.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's stubborn for me, probably.
Killing me. Jungle Warfare Masters all the way, man.
Yeah, you think so? You think it's that good?
I do.
It does.
I lose so many NCOs. It's ridiculous. You know?
You're playing Germans now. That shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, okay. That's not a big a deal to the Germans, but every other army you play, it's a huge deal.
It is a huge deal. I don't disagree with that.
This rule only applies to Australians, so, you know. And
it's kind of cool.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yep. And going down on that one chance you get ambushed by something, really good.
You'd be like, haha.
Yeah, definitely. If you're playing against someone who is ambushing a lot, like Finland, yeah, that could definitely be awesome.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah, you're going to really mess with the guys, especially because they're at +1 when they're coming out of ambush.
Yeah,
so you're going to actually put them at a -1 just because you're down.
And they can go into ambush super easily. So
yeah, so I mean, I could see either The second or the third. I guess I don't see the stubborn being all that useful. All right.
Okay. Well,
Pat, what's your choice? You didn't say your choice.
No, that was intentional.
Because you didn't want to be wishy-washy like I was?
No, I would go with depending on the force I put together, it'd be the second or the third one.
Okay. So we're kind of in the same boat. I think we're all agreeing that the second two are...
Stubborn, there's so few times I've actually used it. And one time I did, and it came off beautifully, and my opponent was like, no, they're dead, because they're at -3 pins. I could, he was kind of a jerk, and I can kind of basically give him the middle finger and said they're stubborn, so go away.
Be like, nope, stubborn matters.
Yep. Other than that, I haven't really seen it matter. And I've run a lot of paratroopers. So.
Well, it let Jeff and I pin out a unit of airborne. We got to put 10 actual pins on a unit instead of like letting them test sooner.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was fun. That's about the only thing we've been able to do with it. So,
okay.
I don't know. All right, let's move along.
Their officers and forward observers are the same. Same out of the Great Britain book.
Okay.
Their medic is a little different.
Yeah.
So they can be regular or vet, and I know that's a change from the PDF that was published. I believe they're only vet in the PDF.
Okay.
And it can be, the composition is medic and up to 4 men.
Dear Lord. Okay. Can they have guns?
No, they are unarmed. They are
following the
native
rules.
Bearers, not bears.
Oh, interesting.
Bearers.
They're not drop bears?
They're not drop bears.
Okay.
So, and what was interesting I read in the PDF is that for every one of these additional men you had, the medic rule was extended an extra inch. That got cut.
Okay.
It has to. That's super too good.
All of a sudden, a 10-inch bubble.
Yeah, you would bring as many dudes as you could.
Yeah, and a 10-inch bubble from the furthest guy spread out in the line.
Right.
Yeah,
you
guys spread them an inch
Oh,
apart.
yeah.
That's a big bubble. That's what, 25 inches across?
20 plus inches easy.
For 70 points, veteran?
Broken.
Yeah. Oh, that was probably a good choice. As
So that
cool
got
as it
corrected.
sounded. Yeah. All right.
So, and this kind of, then they got a little section out box in the New Guinea book, where they talk about the Fuzzy Wuzzy Angels, who are the locals there that basically the whole conflict, they just pulled wounded out of the jungle and brought them back. Both sides.
Didn't care who they were. They just
Didn't care who they were, never had any weapons, just all they did was just carry guys out. Carry them out on stretchers.
Sounds
really
pretty cool, actually.
Let's see, this is all like in Papua New Guinea, so they're popping in tribesmen.
Okay.
And they're Fuzzy Wuzzy Angels because apparently they had very large fuzzy beards, and quite frankly, were angels. So
Right.
a nice little homage to that. And they also mentioned that the last one in the world passed away in March 2016.
Oh, that's depressing. Thanks, Pat.
Sorry, it's I usually don't read out those little what they label the top secret boxes and stuff, but for some reason I actually read this one and is like, that's actually really cool. That's actually a really cool story.
They sneak secret rules in there and shit. You got to read everything in these books now because that's where you found the stupid bazooka rule. Isn't it like one of those little breakout boxes?
Well, you look for the key things where they put pluses, a plus sign or a minus sign, or
Sure.
several numbers in sequence.
Sure.
Otherwise, they're not special rules.
Fair. All right. So, but that's just a call out. There's nothing special other than that they get the native bearers for the unit.
Yes, and that's what the native
essentially
bears
kind
are
of making
representing
it-
is
okay.
these Fuzzy Wuzzy Angels, as far as I believe.
That makes sense. That actually sounds pretty accurate. That's pretty cool. Now, it should be just that you could have multiple medics. That'd be kind of cool, too.
Well, normal medic unit is just what? One dude and that's it?
Then you can have a stretcher bearer with them.
Usually you can have up to 3 dudes.
Like up to 3 dudes?
The attendant and 2 extra dudes.
Okay. Just to get a stretcher out. And
Yeah, so this gets you up to 5 dudes in the squad.
Yeah, it's
Which is
pretty
awesome.
cool. It
Yeah.
makes them pretty resilient comparatively. So
Yeah.
pretty cool. All right. So that's it, right? Do they have any forward observers or anything, or is that all covered in that top thing? They just don't get them.
They have forward observers.
Okay. Oh, they
The-
do. There we
Yep.
go. That's
Same
it
as Great
now.
Britain.
Okay. It's essentially exactly the same. Got it.
It actually says, C per armies of Great Britain.
Oh. All right. Well, easy enough.
Yes.
They do that in the Papua New Guinea book,
And
or just in the PDF?
in the campaign New Guinea, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, for the record, you guys have the PDF open. I've read it, so I kind of have some notes on what it is, but I'm just going straight from the actual New Guinea operation or campaign New Guinea book.
Yeah, that makes sense. At least one of us is reading from that.
Somebody
The
should,
official
right?
one, yeah.
Otherwise, we could just make the crap up as we go.
We could.
Nah, let's not do that.
Yeah. All right, let's move it along. So let's get some units. Let's do it. Infantry boys.
So we referred to the militia infantry section.
Yep.
So these are pretty poor, 5 to 10 inexperienced fellows with rifles.
Yep.
You can have an NCO can have an SMG. You can have someone have a light machine gun, or you can replace that light machine gun with the Lewis gun for -5 points.
-5 from the 20?
Yep.
So it's 15 points for the Lewis gun.
For the Lewis gun.
What's the Lewis gun?
Well, Lewis gun only has 1 less shot.
Oh, so
3 shots instead
3
of
shots
shots.
instead of 4.
Yep, and that the Lewis gun is a change from the PDF you guys have. They added that in here, and they gave just a little snippet on it. They give it some more towards the end of the book.
I guess if you're looking to shape 5 points, it's kind of not a bad way of doing it.
inexperienced and they're green.
I don't probably not be taking a unit in the first
Militia.
place. But yeah, maybe not. All right. What's Jeff thinking?
Well, I mean,
Jeff's
back
got a
line.
thought. Jeff,
I'm just going to say a light machine gun in a non-German army is kind of already a dodgy buy.
yeah, I'm kind of with you.
And 15 points for one less shot is an even dodgier buy. So, I mean, if you want to have it because it looks cool and you're historically accurate to them carrying Lewis guns, thumbs up.
Yeah.
But as a competitive choice, I think that's awful.
I guess I'm looking at it as it's about 5 points a shot. So dropping 1 shot is essentially the same. It's the math kind of works out to me.
But they're inexperienced, so it's minus 1.
I mean, either way, I don't know that I'd be putting an LMG on an inexperienced green squad myself. But if you're looking for dudes, you're just looking for dudes.
Well, you're sacrificing the loader's rifle shot. Right?
Oh, true. I suppose you are losing that too.
So, you're gaining 15 points for 1 extra shot and a little bit of range.
Yeah, that kind of does ruin it. You're right.
Don't select these ones, by the way.
There's 5 men for 35 points. It's a cheap dice and 5 wounds.
My guess is that this isn't going to be where they excel in the cheap, crappy troops. Let's move along, and we'll see if we'll assess that as we get through the infantry. I'm sure that we're going to see some more. I mean, the next unit I'm seeing is a veteran unit, so I'm guessing they're probably pretty good. So let's look at them.
Right.
How about the AIF infantry?
The Australian Imperial Force.
Sound incredibly scary.
It does. It's really not. There's 5 to 10 guys, regular or veteran option. Your PDF only had the veteran option.
Yep.
All rifles. NCO can have a submachine gun. You can add a light machine gun for 20 points. These are one of the few that can't be given anti-tank grenades.
Okay.
This is one of the squads that had fighting withdrawal available to them.
Yes.
Yep.
That's
Actually, it's just these two, the militia and the AIF. So
Yep.
yeah. I'm not overly excited by them.
Well, they're fairly vanilla.
Yeah, but still being able to have veteran troops, not bad. They're a standard buy, so they're still going to be good, but I don't think they are any. I was hoping for something special.
And honestly, how often do you actually give veteran troops anti-tank grenades, really?
Yeah, you're not going to. I wouldn't anyway. You can have up to 10 dudes. It's a 10-man squad max. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big list of vanilla.
Yep. Yeah, very vanilla.
So we've got some more vanilla for you here, but we'll call them Jungle Division Infantry Section.
Okay.
Same regular veteran, 5 to 10 guys, rifles. NCO submachine gun. You can get 3 more guys with the submachine gun, and you can put in an LMG. And these also do not get the anti-tank grenades.
So just a little more assaulty.
3 more SMGs.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, I think those are not in the PDF, so
No, that's the next
They're
page.
farther down.
They're further down.
Oh, they're down a different
Yep.
page. Okay.
They,
Yeah, so
they mixed
just-
up the order so as to
Yeah.
hide the true identity.
Got it.
Just as an aside, Warlord does have miniatures for the militia infantry section. They're the bros wearing shorts, and then they do have miniatures for the jungle division that we just talked about. No miniatures for the AIF.
They must be popular.
You'd have to look at what their uniforms actually look like. So
Yeah.
the militia
Well,
guys.
nothing labeled as the Imperial forces.
Yeah. No offense to anyone that may have fought in the militia, but they kind of look like Boy Scouts with their
Well,
shorts.
They were inexperienced.
Don't say that to their face.
No, they're way tougher than I ever would be. But
Especially if they have a Lewis gun.
just one less shot. Can't
Well,
hit me.
gee.
And if
You
they don't
die
have their
one less
loader,
time.
they're freaking green. Whatever, I'm fine.
All right, so
Probably run away from that.
let's
maybe.
jump onto the platoon scout team.
That sounds cool.
It does. So 42 points regular, 55 points veteran. They're static. You get an NCO and 2 bros. They have submachine guns. They have the forward deployment. So
Ooh.
they count as the observer sniper for setup purposes.
Okay.
So I remember that little 18-inch thing.
Yeah.
Here
How
you
big
go.
of a unit can you get? Just 3 men.
Three guys with SMGs.
Okay. It's a nice little. Can they have anything else, or is that it?
That's it.
Is that not in the PDF?
No, it is. It's farther down. So
I'm really confused. Okay.
these 3 guys with submachine guns, they're veteran or regular. Forward deployers with being fanatic if they're charged, fanatic in defense, and stubborn in case they get shot. Kind of like these.
I'm gonna stick a pin in that stubborn thought for them. There's 3 dudes, so you're never gonna take a stubborn test until you're down to 2 dudes and then 1 dude, and then it's not gonna matter.
Well, yeah, I suppose they're not going to carry pins because there just aren't enough of them.
Right. I mean, like, you kill one of the 3, it doesn't matter because it's not
Doesn't
at
test.
50%, right? And if you
Yeah.
kill 2 of the 3, does stubborn apply when you're the last man left? That I don't actually know.
Yes.
I
It
don't.
does.
Does it?
Yes, it does.
Fanatic doesn't.
Fanatic is the one I'm thinking of.
Okay,
It doesn't.
yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Then maybe, but I think it's...
One guy left.
It's not all that
That's
true.
combat ineffective.
They've already done their job at that point, though, because their job is basically to stop stuff from
Yeah,
deploying where you
that's
don't
right.
want
Stubborn,
it to do.
Yeah, good point. Stubborn may not be as nice there. I'm trying to make it work. here.
No, I get
so
it. But
they can forward deploy, and then as they retreat back to the main group, they can be moving into ambush.
yep.
With
So
their
they could be
SMGs.
shooting at stuff, keeping things.
That's-
Yeah,
A better
I like
word for
these
it.
as an option for a cheaper order dice.
Can they ambush? I'm pretty sure that they have to have rifles to ambush.
What, for the special rule?
Well, they can go into ambush.
Any
fighting
unit can
withdrawal?
ambush with SMGs. I didn't think you could
Fighting
ambush
with
with.
only 2 squads.
It's an order. Just
I didn't
I can
think you could.
I can ambush with a machine gun team.
Okay. Oh, you're right. Yeah, what am I thinking? What am I thinking of? I don't know what I'm thinking. It might be the
It's
Master
Monday.
of the Hunt. Does that only work if you have rifles?
I have
No,
no
because
idea.
snipers do it.
I'm just losing my mind. All right.
You're thinking of a different army, so
Different...
I don't know what I'm thinking of. But
Hey, on
anyway.
the upside, you're still talking about bolt action.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe not. I have no idea.
Maybe.
I kind of
Think
like
any
these
in-
though.
I would think about taking 1 or 2 of them. Maybe one of them, just because you're probably going to still have a sniper. But this is a good little unit to, again, cock block.
And you need a few of those to take advantage of that sweet rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to use that rule, yeah. Well, that is you get that rule. Never mind. Okay.
All right, so here comes one of my 2 favorite units out of this army.
Oh.
The Independent Company Commando section.
Yeah.
Which there are
Just-
miniatures for.
Rolls off the tongue there. The Independent Company Commando
Those,
section.
and by the way, those guys look freaking badass. Like, those models are great. They look tough as nails. I'm guessing they're tough as nails.
Well, they have tough fighter.
That makes them tough as nails. What else
Right.
they got?
So this is a veteran, 5 to 10.
Okay.
They come with rifles. NCO can get a submachine gun. Any man can have a submachine gun for plus 2 points. They
Okay.
can add LMG for 20. As mentioned, they're tough fighters. That's why it's only +2 for the SMG.
It's nice that they paid attention to that.
And
Yeah.
they've also got the behind enemy lines.
Gee, oh my God. That's actually, they're cheap.
Now, which one does the behind the enemy lines do?
That's the no -1 for coming in outflanking.
Oh, that's right. That's not the one that lets you come on the other table edge. I was like, holy crap, that they're undercosted, but still.
So they're 15 points each, as is. With submachine guns, they go up by 2, so they're 17 points.
Well, it says each additional man is 14. Is it 15 or 14?
5 for 70 points. So 14, my bad.
Yeah, okay. Math seemed right there for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not 75 points, it's just 70. So 16 points with the SMG. Tough fighters, which if they had SMGs, they'd have
Yeah,
anyways. So.
kind of redundant. But they let you have rifles. Keep them cheap, you keep them at 14 points. I don't know.
The miniatures look good.
Okay.
Miniatures look fantastic. Good
Yeah,
work.
no, I mean that's part of the reason why I would actually get these guys is because they look amazing. So I'm digging them, but
There's a bro here with a huge Rick Hubler beard, too.
I know there's a couple dudes in there that have beards. Like I was like,
Yeah.
damn, they look rough. Like they've been out on the bush for a little too long, and they don't have a doctrine that says you must shave every day.
Yeah, they thought Australia was cool before we did.
Yeah, I think those guys look pretty damn good.
They do look good.
It's just 49-28. Somebody raise their hand because I'm not gonna. Oh, Pat's back. Is he actually
got it.
back? Okay, great. Okay, just making
So-
sure.
Nope.
I mean, they're the commandos. I mean, behind enemy lines is okay.
It's situational.
Yeah, but it's not like actual infiltration.
Well, here's
No,
what
it's not the same.
Here's what I found about using that, because my commandos have it. And I'll use those kind of units if I don't plan on having a transport, because it can get you up the line.
Yeah, reliably.
Yeah. You're talking veterans coming in at a 10. So
Should
Yeah.
come in, yeah.
They should hopefully come in. Maybe not.
Yeah,
but
hey, yeah, that's true.
I've seen stupider
just
stuff.
pick the
happen.
right side, for the love of God.
Or bring two and bring them one on each side.
There's that, but whatever you do, if you're doing some outflanking and you come in on the right, don't move the bulk of your forces to the left side of the board.
No, you don't want. Yeah, no, don't do that. That's silly.
That's not going to help you.
No, that would not. But
I've done
yeah.
it.
Oh, I think I've done it too. Where you're like, oh shit, not supporting that one unit that's now coming in on the opposite end of the table. All right, I think they're pretty. Those look pretty good. I agree though. I don't know if I give them SMGs just because you already have tough fighter.
It is nice that they're only 2 points, so you're not
You're
really.
right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad buy per se.
It's not, but it's
If,
still.
if they could give their rule to their transport, I think that'd be really good.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. Fortunately, I don't think it works that way.
Again,
no.
I'm
Here's
thinking-
another pro tip. Don't put your veteran troops in inexperienced transport.
That is a good tip. That's a great tip. I'm just thinking again, terrain heavy because you're fighting on a jungle board. Double the shots at up to 12 inches when
Yeah.
you can move and shoot is pretty freaking good.
It is pretty good. You're right because yes, I guess I'm not thinking of a jungle table.
Also, on turn 3, or if you bring them on way forward, then you could take advantage of the rule where they can come back towards your table edge. So, like a sweeping from
Well,
behind kind of thing.
remember that that moving back into ambush is only the first units we talked about.
Oh, that's right. That's not this
Yeah,
one.
this doesn't count. Yeah.
That was the AIF and militia. Okay.
yeah. Never
Fine.
mind. They're stupid. Just
I
kidding.
think
Yeah,
they're
these guys-
still decent. I think
Pretty
they're
good.
pretty good. Yeah.
I like them.
All right. Well, so that was one of your favorites, but I'm guessing the next one's not because it's not bright red.
Well,
And you
that
did
was
that.
bright red because it didn't exist in the PDF.
Oh, got it. Okay. So the next one is the raiding party.
The Independent Company Raiding Party.
Oh, these guys actually, these guys look freaking gross.
This is just all right. Let's go through it here.
Yeah.
So you got 5 to 16 vets, all with rifles. We'll get to the. So you can add a local scout. We'll get back to that. NCO and any soldier can have a submachine gun for plus 2 points each. 2 soldiers may have light machine guns. Entire squad can have anti-tank grenades. Is the first squad that can take that. Entire squad can be upgraded to jungle warfare veterans. One party can replace the NCO with a commanding officer at the following points cost. You can slip a lieutenant, a captain, or a major into this.
You can wait. What?
Yeah.
It's the only time I've ever seen it actually.
Yeah, exactly. So you can replace your NCO with a lieutenant, a captain, or a major.
Why would you do that?
Another set of snap 2.
Yeah, you get an extra snap too.
You
Big
got
leadership.
a bunch
These
of
feel like-
110
these feel
points
like-
lying around.
Yeah.
Yeah, these feel like they're operating a little bit independently.
You mean like a raiding party?
I mean, it's an independent company raiding party, so they might not have another unit. Well, I mean, if another of the commandos is coming along, I'm thinking behind enemy lines.
Yeah.
Hang on, we're not done with him yet, though. So they've also got behind enemy lines.
Okay.
So all commandos are tough fighters.
Okay.
The attached scout does not be. Remember, there's an option to add a local scout. Jungle warfare veterans. So during setup, any raiding party unit can start the game in hidden and may start the game already in ambush if you decide to do so.
But only within the back edge of the table, right? Like just
But they don't infiltrate.
no infiltration.
What does the local scout do for them?
That's next here. The attached scout knowledge of the local jungle paths and trails in the area allow the commandos, when outflanking, to arrive on the short board edge of their choice rather than having to choose before the game begins.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, so you don't have to choose.
Yep. That's a 38-point selection, by the way. And five of these guys is 97 points. The rest are at 14 points each.
Okay.
So what's that 16-point selector? And that's with rifles before you start slapping SMGs on people.
Can have two
It's too
LMGs though.
expensive.
Can have two LMGs.
I think
right?
you can get like a 400-point, a 400 or 500-point unit out of this.
This is like a Death Star of all Death Stars in this game. I don't like.
Yeah, but it's not an effective Death Star. It's
No.
just a point sink.
16 vets. That's pretty. That's kind of hard.
Well, yeah, but you can get 16 vets out
True.
of
For a
you
lot
know,
less points. I agree.
the AIF for a lot less.
They're
Yeah.
one order dice.
Then they're one
Plus,
order
you can
dice.
sink another 150 to drop your NCO and promote him to major,
Yep, they're
and
one
not
order
have
dice.
any other units left in your army to snap
Well,
to action.
With the because you did guess the end. If you put a because you put a
You
captain
there,
and major
you're
in
snapping the other army to action.
Yes, there you go.
there, run away. No. Okay. Yeah. As cool as it sounds.
It sounds so cool. I think they missed something here.
Yeah, it's just so damn expensive.
I mean, you'd want something like, appropriately costed Gurkhas or something.
Yeah. No.
I mean, they should just kick ass.
They should. They should, but they do probably kick ass. But they're just, again, like Jeff said, they're one order dice, and they're a lot of points. There's a lot of cool shit in there, but it would be nice if you could just get like a local scout upgrade for your army.
At
Instead
38
of having
points,
to be-
that's really tough to swallow.
Yeah,
it is. And if
it's
these
too
guys
brutal.
could infiltrate, that'd be awesome.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Something.
If you've got a 400-point unit, 38 more points to make sure it comes in where you want it to. Ain't a
Well,
bad idea.
That's true. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're going to spend the points, you might as well spend the points. But
It's a little luxury tax there.
yeah, but it just seemingly overly costed. I don't know.
Well, yeah, this is the Tiger 2 of the Australian list. Looks
Six-
awesome,
16
super
vets
sexy,
is- yeah.
one dice and too many points.
Yeah, 16 vets is incredible. Like that would be scary, but it's a lot of points, and you're going to have like 4 other order dice. Mm-hmm. So, okay,
Well, now you're going to have to get those inexperienced guys at 35 pops.
right, just to get some
order
extra dice. Yeah.
Yep. All right, so there is a lot of stuff going on there that just like
Makes
do
it
yourself a
sound
favor,
cool. Yeah.
ignore that page and move on.
That's too bad.
Yeah. I mean, those dudes look pretty freaking cool, though. Like that. Well, the commandos do, but I'm sure. Did the raiding party even have their own models, or could you just use raiding commandos instead?
I don't see models specifically listed for the raiding party. So,
Yeah. But they're independent company. You could probably get away with using the commandos. Maybe.
yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Have to look at what they look like. But all right. Next, I see engineers. So this is my heart's a flutter already.
The jungle engineer section. I think they just took the regular armies and put like jungle in front of stuff.
Right. Well, that makes sense.
So this has
Fighting in the jungle.
all levels of experience. I believe the original PDF omitted the inexperienced guys.
Okay.
This is 5 to 10. NCO can have an SMG. 2 more guys can have an SMG. You can do a light machine gun. You can do a flamethrower.
Yeah.
And they can also have anti-tank grenades.
I'm a little disappointed by the number of SMGs they can have, but otherwise, sounds-
Total 3 with the NCO.
yeah, that doesn't excite me much. But the fact that you can get a flamethrower inside a unit is nice.
To protect
Yes.
that, yeah.
Yeah, kind of hide it back, keeps
Very
it
nice, yeah.
Option I don't have with the British Army.
right.
Pretty
and
solid, pretty solid.
And actually, the fact that they can be regular is kind of nice too, because a lot of veteran. I mean, at least for the Germans, their veteran units or their engineer squads are all veteran only.
These can be inexperienced, too.
Yeah, I don't
can't
think
they?
I'd ever taken an inexperienced engineer squad myself.
Experienced flamethrower just sounds like a wreck waiting to happen.
Just lighting all your own dudes on fire. Oh shit, guys! I forgot to bring the fuel.
He's the guy who goes, "Here, hold my beer. Watch this."
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a
Hold my beer.
freaking, it's just a hairspray can with a lighter. Yeah, it seems like a
I
bad
wonder if
idea.
there's a corresponding meme. Like we've got America. I wonder if there's a Australia.
Rick, I was gonna say he's not the guy with the hairspray and the flamethrower. He's the guy who's done a bunch of beans and lifts his ass in the air and
Oh,
hits
yeah,
the
there you
lighter.
go. Just farting. Yeah, that seems about right.
You're forgetting he's Australian. There's probably some kind of fire-breathing lizard they have. He just squeezes it.
He just squeezes it.
It's a salamander from the Lizardman army. There we go. Yeah. They
In
figured,
Conflict 47, they probably have some bug divisions or something with just,
light shit on
Yeah.
fire. Yeah. Maybe. Who knows? But it's cool that you can get a regular unit. Again, no inexperience, but if you don't want to take vet, I can see it
that's
working.
cool.
I think this mirrors what I believe an American squad is very similar to this.
It might be.
Engineering squad.
I'm just very used to the Germans only having a veteran option.
Sure.
So kind of,
All right, so the
Nice
last
guessing
infantry
those.
squad, and my other favorite one in this one is the
shocking.
the Papuan Infantry Battalion.
Papuan. Yep.
That's, yeah.
There are miniatures for these as well.
Okay, so these
Sweet.
are 5 to 10 guys. They have all levels. The PDF didn't have inexperienced at the time. The NCO can have an SMG. They have Fieldcraft, if you remember what that one is.
Keeps coming up in every freaking episode.
Partisans.
Yeah,
This
somebody else had
unit
it too,
counts-
didn't
The unit counts rough terrain as open terrain for movement to the first turn.
they? Yep.
They also have forward deployment.
Yep.
They have jungle fighters. So
Yep.
this is if they're set up, they may begin the game hidden and in ambush.
Okay.
They've also got behind enemy lines. And just to make that evened out, they're native troops. They do not benefit from Never Give Up.
Oh.
But at 5 men, regular for 60 points, and 12 more points for each regular, that's a hell of a good deal.
I like these.
I'm even okay with them as veterans. I mean, 10 veteran guys forward deploying at the start of the game.
Yep.
That
In
will
ambush?
overrun.
In ambush.
Hidden ambush.
Nothing. Ambush nothing. You use them to immediately overrun somebody else's forward deploying guys.
Yeah. Well, that can't to play with an 18 inches a year, dudes.
Right. You just get
Well-
right up in somebody's grill like that.
They don't get fanatic. So
Yeah, most forward deploying small teams don't have fanatic either
fair.
unless
Well,
they're Japanese.
and most teams can't get to 10 at that size.
Right.
Yeah,
I'll take
10-man
10
squad. Holy
Yeah, yeah.
shnikes.
I'll take 10 veterans on just about any other forward deploying unit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and hell, start them in ambush anyway, and then if it becomes a chance for you to come after something, go after something.
Yeah,
Well,
these
since no one
these
can be
are
within
good.
18 inches of you, you want to be hidden ambush. Let them make their first advance,
Yeah.
so you're at that 12-inch range.
And then smack
Fire
them.
on their advance, and then on your turn, go cut their frickin' heads off.
Yep.
I can
No,
see a whole army of just these guys.
Yeah, and if they did benefit from the never give up rule, these
Oh, my
guys would
gosh.
be insane.
Yeah, that
Because
would be
also
awful.
remember, in that first turn, they're counting rough ground as open.
Right. Yep.
So that first turn, let those little other forward deploying units move a little bit, shoot them for the price, and then kill them for their stupidity.
Yeah, I like those guys. And you
Those
said
guys are sweet.
75 points for 5 of them.
That's
Or
Veteran.
for vets, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can get 'em-
15 points per.
That's quite good for fieldcraft and for deployment.
Not to mention, just in case you want to get loopy, they got the behind enemy
And jungle
lines.
fighters, which is really important,
And yeah,
actually.
no, actually that is too.
Yes, and the models look really cool. I'm a big fan of these.
I gotta see the models now.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet. They actually have a picture of them in the New Guinea book if you ever choose to get that one.
I'm actually kind of terrified looking at these models. This would be really fun to paint.
Are they on Warlord site?
Yeah.
Here's a link.
Oh, he's sending me a link. Hold on. Ooh, all right.
I like these. It's a good unit.
$24 for 10 of them.
Standard price, yeah.
That's pretty
They're
standard.
all unique sculpts, too, so.
Metal though. Why won't the picture show up? Come on. 'Cause I'm doing too much stuff on the internet right now.
You
Probably.
may have to close one of your porn windows.
Also,
I close all
anybody
those
at
before I start
Warlord,
this.
if you're listening, I went to the website to look at the minis, and I didn't find an Australian Army selection in the drop down. I had to actually search for Australia to find the minis.
Yeah, I
Really?
noticed that too.
So if you're not selling minis for Australia, it might be because no one can link to them from the website.
Yeah, they should
Just
get their own
that's it.
section, man. Give them their own section.
Okay, so they won't show up for me, but I can see them in the little preview, and they do look pretty good. Oh, there we go. Now I can see them. Dude, yeah. Whole army of those guys. Your opponents will be scared shitless.
Right? And they're all forward deploying, so like, hey.
Yeah, you're up in your grill real early, and they're like shirtless dudes in skirts trying to shoot you with guns. I don't know if those
That's
are actually
cool.
skirts,
I
but
like
those
these.
guys look awesome.
Do you see that
Well,
huge
it's not a
flipping
kilt.
knife? Look at that
Yeah, the
flipping
fucking
knife.
the giant machete in the front. Yeah,
Jesus.
you should model that guy like Crocodile Dundee.
That's a knife.
That is a knife. I don't think they're messing around. It's probably some joke in there. I'm sure they were doing that on purpose. But damn, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
they're winners for me.
See, would I lead you astray?
No, in fact, we should just listen. We don't need to have a podcast. You can just be like, these are my units, and we're like, all right, we're good. Let's just move it right along. Talk about something else.
That'd be so more dull.
Yeah, probably. You're right.
There's
That's not what they're paying for. Wait a minute.
there's a
No.
pretty varied selection, at least, which is kind of cool. There's a lot of different ways you can go.
Yeah, I feel like there's a few ways that I think the path is trying to lead you towards, but I mean, their rules all favor infantry, which is nice because there's a lot of infantry,
and they were in a jungle.
and they were in a jungle.
I
Shockingly
don't
enough,
think
it
they had a
actually
whole
makes
lot of
sense.
motor pools.
No,
So and
well,
then just to wrap this section up, they've also got sniper teams, MMGs, light, medium, heavy mortars. They've got the dreaded Piat, whatever. They've got the boys AT and flamethrower teams, and all those are all the exact same as they are out of the armies of Great Britain.
So they got all the fun stuff.
yeah, I will say
They
I
don't
bet
get a
you,
bazooka. They got this
Mer-mer.
stupid pain in the ass torpedo.
I bet
I'm
you a
determined
pain
to
in
make
the
that
ass.
work, though.
I bet you a Piat and a jungle board would actually work pretty well, though.
Well, you know what? That's a good point.
Like in a jungle setting, you probably get to shoot a Piat more. Not you won't die before he gets shot. He gets the shots off.
Right, because you're not only are you better or more concealed, you figure that they're funneling tanks down particular avenues.
Right. There's
So
not as many places for tanks to go per se.
the range wouldn't be quite as much of a hindrance.
Yep. I think would be interesting.
I might have to do like a really crowded jungle board.
So much work. I've been working on one for 2 years now.
We're looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, right? I want to see that.
By I
board.
say we, I mean you.
Yeah, I would be excited to see it too. It'll be at SNAFU 2021.
That's soon. Holy cow.
Yes, well,
Palm tree too
You just
far.
gonna wait for your daughter to grow up and finish it for you?
yes, there you go. She'll finish my legacy for me.
Yeah, it's a family heirloom. Just gets passed down one generation to the next.
It's funny,
Everybody
They
has
each place a
4
tree.
square inches. Yeah, yeah.
We actually have a family train table at one of my nephew's house. That's been like that. It's been through like 4 generations now.
Cool.
It's kind of cool. It is cool. It's very shitty at this point. It's been very well abused, but it's still a family heirloom at this point. Anyway,
Well,
all
there you
right.
go.
So that's the infantry. It's all the infantry, right? Nothing
Yep.
else special.
Yep.
I mean, there's still some special stuff in there, but that's all of it. All right. So next we move into artillery.
Yep.
I'm not seeing anything exciting here.
That's because there's not.
Okay, got it.
So they've got a light howitzer, which has a jungle gun special order. If chosen, the 25-pounder short, the crew may move the gun 3 inches in rough ground if given a run order. That's actually kind of neat.
Say that again.
So, with this light howitzer, with a
Yep.
run order, the crew may move the gun 3 inches in rough ground. Normally, you can't move it.
Oh,
rough
so you
ground.
can like move it from inside a building or something.
Correct.
Ruins, anyway, yeah.
Ruins, anyway. Yeah,
Yep.
Mud,
yeah. I
quicksand.
guess you would be putting your light howitzer in a building. I hope, but
I don't know why I'd put it in quicksand. That seems like a poor deployment choice.
they might not have had a choice, or they didn't realize. Like, haven't you seen the shows? They never realize it's quicksand until it's way
Was
too
it
late.
slow sand then?
Actually, no, it's the
Yeah.
perfect spot. See, if you get it just balanced right on top of the quicksand, nobody can approach you.
Right, it's like a moat.
And if you don't, you can move it out because you've got the jungle gun rule.
Got 3 inch movement.
But I have a rule that lets me move out of quicksand. Perfect. Yes. All right. Okay.
So, all right, and they also have an option where they may become the short version of the 25-pounder, which has the special rule limited logistical support, meaning that it can't use the anti-tank round the normal Great Britain 25-pounder can.
You
So
won't
they
miss it.
give you a discount?
Yeah, minus 5 points.
-5. Mm.
Yep. So it becomes the regular howitzer in that case.
Right. But it's only a light, so it doesn't have a spotter, correct?
You can add a spotter.
You can. Okay, at a light.
Yep.
It's not a light mortar. Okay, it's not the
No,
same
it's
as
a
light mortar.
howitzer.
Right. No, I know. I'm just.
Yeah.
I was associating it with light mortar for some reason, as to not having the ability to get a spotter. But,
There are some light howitzers that cannot have spotters.
okay, but they can have a spotter. So
They can have a spotter.
All right, good enough, I guess.
I like the
It's a
fact that
template.
you can move an artillery piece in rough ground. That's pretty slick.
Yeah, but
That's-
how often would that come up? I guess nobody ever puts it in rough ground because it's really bad.
I've done it before in my third or fourth game.
You're like, I can't move it.
It can help you protect it. I mean,
Yeah.
Because if you're forcing someone to charge through rough ground at you, that really diminishes the amount of range they have because they're limited immediately to 6 inches once they hit it.
Right.
So
So if they're getting
Yeah.
close, you can like back up a little bit, get in there. Yep.
if you're setting up your boards, just have that patch of rough ground,
Optimally
Sticking
placed.
out.
Yeah.
and deploy right in the back of it. So.
Yep. No, it's interesting. Okay.
So they've got that. They've got the stock light and medium anti-tank guns,
Okay.
and they've also got a stock AA artillery, the 40mm Bofors gun, all per the armies of Great Britain,
That's
Okay.
solid.
and that rounds out their artillery.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow, we spent way too much time on that.
Watch out. Yeah. All right.
Hang
Is
on,
that-
everybody, go take a quick pee break. We got to talk about vehicles next.
Yeah, this is going to take hours.
Hours.
I think there's less selection here than there was in the artillery section. Actually, there
Yeah,
are
there is.
less. There are
So-
absolutely less.
They've got 2 tanks.
Okay. They don't have any tanks. They're not their tanks, but they
Well, they're
have
not
2
theirs.
options.
The
Yeah.
Australian, I guess, didn't
Oh,
build
really?
them.
Well, I guess. Oh, boo. So Australia actually built tanks. They only ever, I think, deployed like 1 or 2 of them.
That explains why they weren't in the book.
Yeah, they. Sorry, side note here quickly. The World of Tanks guy who goes around tank museums and looks at real world tanks got in this one, and I think he called this one of the worst tanks he'd ever crawled into.
Explains why it's not in the game.
It was like insanely cramped. Like the driver's seat was angled off center, so like you had to be like twisted 45 degrees in the driver's seat to see out the front. He
Yeah, it
was
sounds
not
great.
impressed.
Wow,
It has
okay.
a big phallic gun port on the front.
You're like teabagging the gunner.
Something. It's kind of messed up, but hey,
Okay.
it also looks sort of cool from the outside. You'd never get me in one. Literally, I don't think I would fit in any hatch on that thing.
Okay.
All right, now I have to go and see if I can find a picture of this.
I'm going to struggle to think of the name. Hang on.
Well, anyway, so the ones that they do have in the book.
They
are-
got the M3 Stuart,
Okay.
and this is not the.
It's not the.
But it's not the pimped out one that just got nerfed. I mean, it lists it as it, but in the book it doesn't list all the options the base M3 Stuart has. That sort of is part of the land lease.
Okay.
So This is the turret-mounted light anti-tank with MMG and a hull-mounted MMG. It's an 8+ light tank. You can add a pintle for 15. It doesn't give you the option to add 2 other forward-facing MMGs, which count as LMGs.
Right.
I swear I'm still not bitter about that. But it is still vulnerable, so an additional +1 penetration to the sides.
So pretty much
because of riveted construction. It's an M3 Stuart.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty much standard without like you said, without the extra options.
It's a good little light tank. It does the job it needs to do.
And relatively inexpensive, if I remember correct.
115 at regular, and 15 more points for the pintle-mounted MMG.
So that's
So inexpensive.
pretty inexpensive. That's kind of nice. That's a nice little buy if you're looking to put some armor in. Little mobile platform, shoot some stuff.
Yeah.
If you decide not to go with the captain in your Raider squad, then you can just pop down a Stuart.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Is that
and
the
then
tank,
there.
Jeff? The second link?
Yeah. That's the inside the hatch.
Oh my god, it's
episode.
tiny.
Yes, it is.
That's a great name,
Unless-
the Sentinel.
Unless that guy is just 8 foot tall.
He's. I think he might almost be 6 foot, but yeah, it's a really tiny tank.
It looks like it's made of plastic.
It looks like a bad mold pour. Yeah, it's like a little soft on the edges. I guess it doesn't. It
Man.
does kind of look cool, but
Got to clean the flashing
Flashing,
off
yeah,
that next
yeah.
time.
Before
probably
you prime it up. That looks like he left some of the silly putty there where he did the camel paint job.
yeah.
All right, let's
Look
take
at-
this thing home.
But please
Yes.
appreciate the front machine gun spot before you click away from it in a picture.
It is like a dong hanging out the
It
front.
really is.
Wait, which is that? What the big thing in the middle is?
Yeah.
That's an MMG. Oh wow, that is
does.
like a
Oh
that
my
is like
God.
that's like the never mind. I'm not going to say it. It's like it looks like a strap on. It just looks very foreign to the whole rest of it. Wow, kind
sure
of
it's
a bizarre
protected.
looking. Yeah, it looks like it's got a shit ton of metal surrounding it. That's probably
also
pretty good.
seems to be Jewish.
All right, enough shitty puns about that bad tank. You can't get it in the game because you only can get a Matilda and a Stuart. So
The Matilda
bad.
2 CS and Frog.
does a frog swim? Amphibious? Please tell me it's amphibious.
Or is that a flamethrower version?
That's the crocodile, isn't it?
That's the crocodile. So
That's not a
Where's the
Matilda,
frog?
though, isn't it?
It's Churchill.
Just a Churchill. That's right.
it's a Churchill crocodile is the big
Yeah.
one. So let's see, what is the frog variant? Let's see, the only special role they have listed here is the telephone tank. And
Tank telephone.
so they have
Hello?
a couple of cans and a string.
Running in
Lexi,
between
Captain
all of
Kill.
them.
So the Matilda's role was to support the infantry in the overcoming fixed Japanese positions. The tank squadrons would either have their own officer walking behind the tanks and directing their fire using the Americans' walkie-talkie, or the infantry themselves would use the tank telephone on their rear hulls to communicate with the crews inside the tank to take out the hidden Japanese positions.
Interesting.
A
Okay.
Matilda tank that is at 1 inch distance of a friendly infantry unit will reveal hidden enemy units at 12 inches instead of 6.
Yep.
Okay.
For the record, the United States, I don't know if we had a World War II or not, but copied that up through the Vietnam War, where you would have the telephone at the back of the tank that infantry guys could talk to the tank commander.
Right. It kind of makes sense because otherwise you can't really talk to them.
Well, you
can't
have to
hear
crawl
crap
up
in
on the
those.
tank to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and you really don't want to do that.
You
Yeah.
really don't want to do that.
Or you're talking through radio, which someone else can listen to,
Yep.
which is kind of nice to be able to talk to the guys right inside without anyone else hearing
So the
it.
frog was just their variant. I'm sure it probably went through puddles well enough and stuff like that.
That counts as amphibious to me. You can go through puddles.
It's everything's amphibious depending on the depth of the puddle.
Fair. And whether or not you want everyone to survive inside. Didn't
Yes.
float. It wasn't a boat.
So, and for the record, it's still a Matilda, and while I'm sure it was very functional for its purposes in the war, in essence of game mechanics, having a light anti-tank and a coaxial MMG at 100 and some points is not worth putting in my list.
Put a Stewart on the table before you put that on the table.
Is it 130, 135, or 140? It's somewhere in that. It's a 9 plus.
All right. You're looking at the big book, right, Pat?
No.
Okay. I'm just going to tell you, for the record, Jeff's memory is better than he thought because I Wikipedia the Matilda 2 Australian variant Matilda Frog flamethrower tank.
Really?
So is it not in the book?
They
I have no
don't
idea.
mention that in.
Well,
They're missing out if
That's
they
in the
forget. Yeah.
it says as per page 42 and 43 of the Armies of Great Britain book, except as noted below in the PDF. So it's likely that those variants are listed in the Armies of Great Britain
I
book.
haven't seen them.
Interesting.
Well, they're on page 42 or 43 if they exist.
Well, the book's
Yeah.
upstairs. I will follow up when we release this with something on Facebook.
Yeah. I'm just curious because like the Wikipedia version does say that's a flamethrower tank, and if you could take a flamethrower Matilda 2 in the jungle, I would take that all day, every day.
Yeah.
At any tournament
You're
allowed.
going to be bringing all sorts of flamethrowers.
Yeah, and I mean from a campaign perspective, if you're playing Japanese, the Matilda 2 is perfectly adequate.
Oh, yeah.
So
very
let's
good.
put it in. So I'm looking at Bolt Act or Easy Army, and they do list the Matilda Frog Murray. It's also called a Murray here.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a one turret mounted flamethrower with a coaxial MMG
There you go.
with a 9+ armor.
That, and,
I'm in. Like
Yeah.
I think that's a good choice.
what do they want for points
Yeah.
for it?
155 regular. So
All day, every day.
Yeah.
That's great with a 9.
with
Wow.
with a 9 up armor. Slow.
Oh,
So it's slow internal volatile tanks and tank telephone, which
Oh, it is slow.
slow kind of ruins the flamethrower, but
No.
Well,
no,
Churchill's slow. The British are just used to slow tanks.
Yeah, it's an infantry support tank. They're all slow.
yeah, true. I mean, you're just going to have to deal with it. So, but I just don't like the slow with a flamethrower. Otherwise, I wouldn't care. But
Not man, when it's 9 armor to the front, you don't care.
yeah, it's a good point. You're kind of just going to sit there and take it until you get up there, and you still have an MMG to shoot until then. So, you just keep moving forward until you can torch things.
And you want to have those because, especially if you're playing against a Japanese player, they aren't going to run away if you kill half the unit, but they might if you hit them with a flamethrower.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
they have to take that
test.
check.
That's a different check, yeah. That's a good point. Interesting. I'm liking that choice a lot more. It kind of makes,
And
they
I know
still only
what-
have 2 choices.
Yeah.
kinda
And
It
I
shit.
brings
know
the
what-
un back in fun.
Yeah.
I know aesthetics are subjective, but I also
I don't
really
know, I think-
like how this tank looks.
The Matilda
I
does.
think the
It's a
the
sweet little tank.
flamethrower tanks put the FU back in fun.
Yeah, me too. Not the it's the FU. You're right. Well, let's move into transports because I see a transport in this that I'm like I would.
There's
wonder if
one
this would
really
be
cool
good.
one, and I'll leave it for last just for you.
Because I already know you're on the same page on this one. I think
Right.
right
So
away.
you can have a Jeep. Yep, it's a Jeep.
Right.
Bren
Yep.
carrier. Yep, it's a Bren carrier.
Right.
They also have the full array of variants of Bren carriers available to them.
'Kay.
As far as the the machine gun Brens and whatever. Yeah, they got
like the
those.
light guns, whatever. Yeah.
They can also get a truck. Woohoo!
Ooh, a
Very
big truck.
excited.
Big truck to get a shit ton of dudes in. I'm assuming.
No, they get the Morrises. So
Okay. Like
You can get at
12
least 10
dudes,
guys in it.
10
Yeah.
guys.
3-ton truck, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
and then the LVT4 Buffalo.
That's the one I like.
That
How
one's
many
nice.
MEGs can this one have? A bunch? 4?
30.
It's like that scene from The Mask where he pulls out all those guns at one shot. It's just like 100 guns. It should be able to have 4.
It just pops guns out of guns.
Right, shooting guns out of guns.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I
I'm pretty
believe this
sure.
was the fully enclosed transport too, isn't it?
Really?
Isn't that right? I'm looking at the picture of it, and I'm just guessing off the
I
top.
don't
I
actually think so.
I think it's open top. It should
that's
be
too
open
bad.
top. There's no way
I'm
it's
looking right now.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it in Easy Army. That's as best I
okay.
can get. So,
It is open top.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
open top. 7 up, open topped.
7
but
up.
it can 7+ armor, whatever.
Now with a slice of lime.
It's amphibious, and it can carry up to 24 men.
Yep.
May have 2 MMGs upgraded to HMGs. May have an additional forward-facing MMG for 10 points.
Add a pintle-mounted 20 millimeter autocannon.
Yeah, you can get an autocannon with a 360 arc. Yeah, I mean, he's got all sorts of choices. It's kind of gets pricey when you start adding all that crap onto it, though. Just saying.
24 guys in one vehicle.
It's like the clown car of all
That's a
clown
lot of
cars.
eggs in my basket.
So hold on now. Which one is this? Because the LVT-4 water buffalo in the Armies of the United States list.
Can hold 30.
Yeah,
I know. I
This
noticed
one
that,
lists
too.
as per the armies of Great Britain, page 62.
Yeah, so
right. That tea maker takes up room for 6 guys. I always forget that.
I don't.
The tea maker?
The extra biscuits in the boxes too.
The
yes.
Vegemite heater. I don't know.
Son of a biscuit.
Yeah, I don't exactly know why it's 24 instead of 30, because that's the first thing I noticed, that it is less people. But really, seriously, how many people are you putting in this damn thing?
Well, I put 2 full squads in it if you have 3 MMGs on the front of it. That's
Well, sure, yeah,
Jesus.
it's
Except
awesome.
for the open top taking the pins. I guess
Man,
that's
you
why
were-
they have the tea.
You are dishing out so many pins when you do that, though. So stick 2 10-man squads in it and your lieutenant in there, right? Because the lieutenant will benefit guys inside the transport.
Sure.
Drive up, spray
Well-
somebody with 3. Yes, he will. Inside, he will.
Okay.
Spray everybody with the MMGs.
We'll have an episode on that.
Dump a squad out, blast somebody. Dump a squad out, blast somebody. And if they're still there,
They're really good.
run away.
If they're still there, they must be Gurkhas.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it's good. I don't know which units I'd put in it, because if you're using the what the hell were they called? The last unit we
Papuan.
talking about, the Papuan, then
Yeah.
you're not going to use them in a Buffalo.
No, you use the regular Australian Army guys in this.
Yeah, maybe you do. I think you have to, because that's the only way you're going to use it.
Or you go bonkers and take 4 5-man squads in it and just be a pin machine.
Just a bunch of SMGs wherever you can get them.
Yeah. No, it's
So many pins.
I like the Buffalo. I've always been a fan. It's kind of pricey, but you don't need to have 3 transports. You can have 1, and it gets quite a few dudes up front. So,
Yep.
and it's tracked.
Which is very nice.
Yep, get you out of some trouble.
Gets you through some water.
Yep, and it's amphibious. That's true. That's another thing you forget. You can get dudes across the damn Pegasus bridge board
Yeah, I got your Pegasus Bridge right here as I drive across the river.
and drop 30 dudes on the other side.
Right.
Like, oh, crap.
24.
If you're playing
24.
Americans, yeah, 24 in this one. You're right. Sorry, 24.
The
24.
armies of
And a
Australia are not Americans.
and
no,
a
they're
case of
not.
Vegemite.
Although,
In the
unfortunately,
case of
this is-
Vegemite,
it
We'll sit
just
down and
gets
make you
me
a
because
Vegemite
it's
sandwich.
it is a American transport, but whatever, isn't it? Right? It's got to be.
American manufactured, yes.
Yeah. So for whatever reason,
done
the armies
some
of
tweaks.
America get 30, and this get 24. But whatever.
Well, I don't want to put too fine a point
Australians
on
are
this.
bigger.
Yeah, they're beefier.
We were
Well,
wusses in the army.
No, so I don't understand necessarily the historical context of how many people the vehicles can hold.
Sure.
I would like to say inaccurate in this game.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
it
go
definitely
there.
feels that way. Yeah.
Some vehicles
No,
are
totally.
very inaccurate. Mostly ones I've noticed that are amphibious for some reason. Maybe that's
Okay.
a balancing thing. I don't know. But like the Duck is listed as holding 12 guys when historically it clearly holds 24.
Right.
And if you go to the Dells, it holds like 35. The LVT
depending how much you
here-
pay for your ticket.
Right.
Right.
The LVT here is listed as the American holding 30, but you take it to the British, it's the exact same thing, and it only holds 24. There's a lot of disparity.
That's kind of bizarre to me, but
Right.
whatever.
Right.
That's when you get different writers doing different things.
I know.
Yeah.
And no one
must
back
be.
checking what they're doing.
I know. Sorry.
And then they don't want to change it now. 'cause-
Tangential complaint, sorry.
No, and quite honestly, 24, 30, in most cases probably doesn't matter. Like you said, Jeff, you might throw some more dudes in there, but you might not too.
Yeah. It is a lot of eggs in one basket if you start throwing 6 squads.
Especially when it's like a 150 point or 160 point transport.
Right.
It's like 31 and 2 dozen and a half of another.
Now just to say, though, that's only, at 150 points, that's only 60 points more than a half-track with 1 MMG.
Right. No, it's still really good. And it can go across water, and
each
it's
one
got
of
some other
those-
choices.
Right,
Yeah.
and each one of those MMGs independently would be 50 points for a regular
Yep.
MMG.
Yep.
So
No,
it's not so bad.
It's not awful. I've got one on my painting shelf for a reason. So my
Now,
Marines
get it
may
off
have
the
one.
shelf, get it painted, get the Marines painted, get it in there, and bring them in.
Eventually.
Sorry, got
Working
us
on
out
it.
there. Sorry.
Working on it. Yeah. Eventually, they will be done.
Otherwise, you're going to get the Mike mantle pretty soon.
Ooh, ouch.
I
That was
nobody else
that was
knows
low.
that, and I'm guessing I don't know if he listens or not. Probably not. However, I did put paint on models last night. Yet
did?
again,
Okay.
2
Okay,
nights in a
good.
row. So there.
You are ahead.
Is that more priming, or is that actually?
I actually started putting skin tone on some of the dudes. So
Very nice.
All right.
Very nice.
was
Stand
getting
back
there.
world.
I
Skin
know.
tone.
skin tones. It's got to start somewhere.
I like it.
I have a friend that says you got to paint a foot. You just got to paint a foot.
You paint from the inside out, so there you go.
Yep. I'm working on it. Trying a couple new techniques with it, so we'll see if we can speed it up a little bit. Anyway, not a hobby update now, but that's the end of the transports. So
the other thing that we got left is, and I think we're kind of running short on time here, is they've got a whole smattering of theater selectors.
Yeah.
That could just almost be an episode by themselves. But
I don't know that we need to drain that well.
I imagine part of that was in support of the actual campaign book. The rules are in.
Yep.
So
it's kind of a 2-in-1. If we come back and revisit the campaign New Guinea, should we happen to run out of topics or get some overwhelming press to do so, we'll probably cover at that time. But just know that they have quite a good selection available.
Right, and I know your book is Campaign New Guinea, but for the record, the Australians fought from the Mediterranean, North Africa, all through the jungles. So, man, just about anywhere you can think there's a fight, these guys did it.
Yep.
Yeah, they were all the way up in North Africa. You said, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I did.
Greece and
Italy,
Crete,
everywhere.
The one thing I'll say about the PDF, and I don't know if this carried through to the other one, is that it seems like all of the theater selectors in the PDF all have an extra infantry unit. Is that right? Because most units can have 0.3 extras, correct? Normally can have
standard is 2 mandatory 0.4.
Yeah. Is it 0.4? Okay, then it's never mind. It's the same then. Okay, I thought it was only 0.3, but I was mistaken.
Regardless, you can get a lot of infantry, which is awesome.
Which is kind of the point. You can get your cheap tank and a bunch of dudes, because that's really what it's coming down to.
Some good infantry to take. So
that's all they really have. Their artillery is pretty subpar. You've got one of two tank choices. They can move it in rough
ground.
They can.
The one.
The one. Yeah.
Got to get out of that quicksand.
They've got no medium or heavy. They just have a light.
Like, I guess I'm looking at this going like, they don't even give you like lots of options to do things that are not like just a bunch of infantry. You don't have a lot of choices.
It's a flavor army.
Yeah,
it's what it is.
No,
and
I
did a really good job.
I like it.
I also like the fact that in the New Guinea book, they credited all those guys that did the PDF right in the back of the book.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. That's good of them to do. Yeah, like given that there's some cool stuff in here. Yeah, I see flamethrowers all day long and a bunch of dudes that are up front.
Yeah, you can do Fire Nation.
Yep.
Some engineer squads, a frog.
Yep.
And a lot of forward deploying harassing units.
Yep. And then just light them up.
Yep.
Eventually. Or you do the other thing where you bring that one giant ass unit and then just lose. They may never come on the board though. That's the beauty of them. You can just keep them off the board.
Dead Star.
The Dead Star. Yeah. That's what it was. A bad Death Star becomes as a Dead Star. Yes, pretty much. I don't think the dice really stops you from having Death Stars in this game. I think that is the limiting factor, and I think that's really nice.
Order dice is the limiting factor. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it keeps the Death Stars away.
It's still my favorite mechanic in the game, I think.
Yep, and a lot of in any game.
Yes, that's what I mean. Any game I played.
Not just this game.
Not just this game. Any game I played, I love the order dice mechanic.
Yeah, I think it helps a lot. So, I don't think we need to go through all the theater selectors. I think just go get the New Guinea book, read them. There's how many of them are in there, Pat?
I just went with a lot.
Okay, so there's a lot.
There's at least 6. Let's put it that way.
Okay, which is on par with any other normal army that's not given as less treatment that this one was.
Yep.
So, sweet.
There's some good rules for the Japanese in that campaign book as well.
Yeah,
so if you play Japanese,
like I said, we really could go in depth a lot more at the campaign book. I mean, we're obviously just focused on
future content.
We focused on the armies of Australia in this, and yes, there is way more depth into it than just the I want to say 15 or so pages we covered.
Sure, but it's a cool 14 or 15 pages.
Yep.
And they have new models, which I think definitely helps it out a lot, is they've got a lot of models to...
And the models look really good, I think.
I really dig them. I really dig that Jungle Fighter look. It's pretty sweet, so...
Hey, look at that. Exactly 15 pages.
Wow, well done. It's like you counted them beforehand or something.
No, I really didn't. It was just that was a guesstimate.
All right, fair. Okay, well, I think we can wrap it for the night. We're like right on schedule for most of our guys here. So, like us on Facebook, whatever. Do all those social media things.
I like the whatever thrown in there.
Well, because I didn't want to say Patreon again, but
You just did.
I did. Twitter. I don't know if we even use Twitter anymore.
What is
Dale
that?
does.
I announce when we release episodes.
Oh, okay. All right. So people can follow us in there to see when we release episodes. That's great.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's probably less interaction on that one than there is on Facebook. So
There is.
If you want to say hi or talk to us or have a question about something, talk to us on Facebook. That seems to be the moral of that story.
AJ, I'm
Well,
trying
if
to
you
check
do it
out
on
the lunch.
Facebook, then all of us see that.
Yes.
If you do it on Twitter, then only I see that.
Yeah,
So-
because I'm not following us on Facebook on Twitter either.
I barely know what a Twitter is.
There's a lot of people that are Twitters, but that's not what we're talking about.
I think they're tweeters.
Oh, all right. Yeah, get off my lawn. No.
Exactly. I like it.
Yeah, I don't. I have a account, but that's all that matters. Just to read other people's hobby shit. That's all I have it for. Don't post anything. So anyway, that's all I got. Anyone else got anything before we call it? Did anyone not like this book? I guess we didn't talk about that.
Buy it.
The book or the
I
Army.
really liked it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I was going to start an Australian army, but didn't in the end.
Yeah.
so.
You're going to have to deal with metal at some point, Dale. You're just going to have to live with it, live it, learn it, love it, or just not, and just play another game, I guess.
My aversion to metal is so much that I've gotten rid of all my metallic paints. So I only paint non-metallic metal now. So
Hey,
That's not the same thing.
Oh my god.
that's not how that works. That's not how any of this works.
Jesus, Dale's going full anti-Magneto.
Yeah, I don't think there's. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, on that note, Pat, you want to lead us out?
All right, guys. This is Snafu. Over and out.
Good night.
Horngry.
Nobody else is saying good night.
I was trying to think how they would say goodnight in Australia. and
They
I
say
don't-
good
I
morning
don't know.
because they're 12 hours ahead of us.